pile of them I had left over from. I don't know if I should use this.
These are.
We don't know if it's working. Our Australian friend says I can't hear anything.
No, it was on. It was a Discord call.
Yeah, maybe it was
so
a
like,
Discord
I mean, this isn't streaming right now. So.
Au contraire, mon frère.
Sound is on. Okay. Sound is on. Okay. Fantastic.
Do you want me to move like over there? On the big couch?
We need.
Yeah, we're about to get
another mic here. But actually, you know what? Somebody can be the producer and have fun playing with buttons if they want.
You don't want to give that job to me.
Ooh.
I got people for that. I am no good.
I have no idea what I would be doing. You would be pressing one of 3 buttons.
Sounds complicated. At the same time?
That sounds tough.
Wait. Let's see. What cameras we got? We got that one right there. We got this one.
And that one right there. And they're all controlled by the ATEM here.
How would I know which one to press?
Well, you got a monitor right there.
Ooh.
Show you what to do. Anyway, what I need is another microphone. I need to get one of those mics, and I need some microphone cable.
Brian, I could volunteer to take one of these
the show. We've just been like waffling.
one
for
of these
like
folding
15
chairs
minutes at
and
this
put it
point.
over on the other side there. I'll sit on a folding chair rather than the couch. It's actually more comfortable for me.
Baltimore Ocean.
Can we do that?
That brown ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
need like a cola.
I went down the Rofo today. You know, I wore my nicest O's jersey, my Cal Ripken Jr. jersey, down to the Rofo, right next to M&T Stadium. I don't even know what the nickname for that stadium is. It just goes to show I'm not from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Arn.
Head down to liquor store.
I mean, you probably saw. I was down in Baltimore last night for the
I didn't know that.
Guardians O's game.
I didn't know you were down there.
Purvey that by doing the
That's the same container.
Are we still live technically?
We still are live.
All the good stuff's gonna be in the Patreon episode. $1 a month.
Oh, is this a non-Patreon episode?
Yeah, because we're live right now.
I see.
We're gonna try to get
We're doing it live.
Do it live.
trying to get mic number 5 now.
Mic number 5.
Same one. I moved over here to give more space.
You know
Oh,
what?
I can-
That's even better.
I can scoot over there.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the big.
Also, this chair is way more comfortable to me.
Get a 5th mic in here. Even better.
And then wait.
We only got 4 pots. I need a larger mixer. So Justin and I will share a microphone. Okay.
And we can.
And
Yeah,
that'll-
and then just pass them down.
Is Ren gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you should take this one,
Okay.
and then we could both have this one.
Wow.
And then there's that one. Yeah, Brian just has a mic for the whole.
Synergy.
Ren wants to be over here.
Yes.
There's a Weird Al Yankovic song off Mandatory Fun making fun of Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and it's just like some like just
I
like
love Weird Al.
it's
I grew up with him. With my dad. My dad went to like 9 of his Alapalooza concerts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I grew up on all the OG stuff.
Way back.
Like
Yeah.
Al's
Amish
fun.
Paradise and all that jazz.
Holy cow.
but
Fat.
Yep.
But he has a song making fun of Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, but it's just like some like random like business like manifesto, and it's just like all like business buzzwords.
Really?
Like, they say like synergy a lot. I can't think of the name of it.
You gotta have
It's-
synergy.
And it's so funny because it's like because like if
Well,
you
it sounds
if
like a
you
law
listen
firm.
to like CSN and Sometimes Why,
Yeah.
it's like they'll never sing about something like that.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, I
perfect.
mean, synergy in the 80s and the 90s was the inclusivity of today.
Oh,
Everyone, it was a big
Yes.
thing, and everybody had it.
Yep.
Synergy. You can sit over by Dylan just for a second.
Okay.
I am going to mute everybody's microphone except for mine to see if it works. This thing will not run.
Why do I feel like that was a challenge to defeat the mute?
Yeah. So we are stuck with 4 mics. I
mean, that's 3 more than Eminem had. He only had 1.
Really?
Also, only had 1 opportunity
Oh my god.
to seize everything everyone.
To seize everything.
Taking it back.
Yup.
That's not before you were born, but years makes no difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, what's Eminem's reputation now? I only remember him when he was, like, new and then at the pinnacle.
He's around. I mean,
My interpretation of
people like
Eminem
him,
is
hate
the
him?
is the
His new
Chrysler's
stuff-
imported from Detroit commercial with Eminem featuring the Chrysler 200.
so the thing about Eminem now is that like he's very like lyrical, miracle, spiritual, like like rhymes everything with everything just to make it rhyme.
Yes.
Because like he hasn't really like changed up since like the early 2000s, but like
And that was when he popped. That's when I was.
Yeah.
We're talking me in high school.
but it's just like he's just fine. I just think he's like running out of stuff to like really rhyme and rap
Well,
about.
I was confused at why he bothered after 2009
yeah there was-
because he had made so much money at that point and was the top of the tree.
he could just do like a Billy Joel and just ride out on like stadium
Exactly.
shows.
You could just do Billy Joel as Rolling Stones. You could tour on the first 3 albums you did for 80 years. People question whether or not that's medically possible, but you just say,
Medically.
listen, I drink a lot of booze. It's a self-preservative. I don't want to get into the science, but it's science.
Yeah. No, but I think he's doing it just for the on the Eminem standpoint, he's doing it for the same reason that the OG rappers like did it for so long, like through the early 90s, because they were all the 80s. They spent
Yes.
10 years.
But they didn't make any of the money.
They started out not making anything. Yeah.
That's like your 80s WWF at the time wrestlers.
yeah.
Those guys got their asses handed to them on,
They
a,
like-
on
they
an
like
hourly
card-
basis.
They like
Got nothing.
they like card out like Ricky Steamboat here and there.
Yeah.
It's like they get the crowd to be like,
Little
yeah, Ricky
little Ric
Steamboat.
Flair.
Woo, woo.
Nature Boy. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yes. Oh my God.
Is Earthquake still around?
I don't think anyone's still around.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you
Nature Boy-
watch
Nature
the-
Boy he posted on Facebook.
Scott Hall passed away
Yes.
not like a year ago.
Did you watch the Netflix Vince McMahon?
I've not yet. I need to.
It was good.
Was it good?
What is that, like a 30 for 30 on Vince McMahon?
It was like interviews with Vince, basically like Drive to Survive for F1.
Okay.
Like once the producers of that did that, they just went and like did it for everything, and they did it with Vince for WWE, and it was like literally he's sitting there, he's like as one of the drivers would be, answering all these questions, lots of them juicy,
That's kind of cool.
old and new.
That's neat. Yeah. So like confirming some stuff.
But yeah, and just like like The Rock has talked about it, a bunch as of late of like what he was getting paid and what he was enduring. Like they were literally fighting like 350 nights a year.
Yeah.
Like there were 16 days, 15 days.
They were getting
So-
strung out. Holy.
just getting destroyed, and not making that much unless you were one of the big 3 guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And then and then you
Even-
become a movie star, and
Even then, like the whole like Bret Hart left because like
yes, Brett's in it. He's interviewed.
yeah, because I forget the
They are
exact-
not friends.
Oh no. I mean after Montreal, like hell no, they're not friends.
Yeah.
But like
They
at
had
the
tons of cool
time-
interviews.
At the
It was good.
time, you had WCW
Mhm.
and you had WWF,
Mhm.
and WCW had all the Turner money, and like Ted Turner's like a gajillionaire.
Yep, great autobiography as well.
Airing it on TBS, they had that 83-week streak.
Yep.
And they were just getting paid like buttloads.
And he
of
brought
money.
over Hulk. Then they
Yeah.
did the New World Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they went hard.
I mean, the thing is that they brought
But
in
you can't
all,
beat
all
Vince.
the old guys. And
It's like beating Elon or something. He's kind of an idiot savant.
they brought over all the old guys, and then like they did the NWO, but
Mhm.
they didn't know when to stop the NWO or like just have it just be
Yes.
like kind of peter out. They were just like, oh, NWO's back, NWO's back. Like you got like the Wolf Pack, and you got like the red and white. And,
Yeah.
like,
Wasn't at one point Scott Steiner on NWO?
Yeah, he
with,
was
with Hulk. Because he was the Steiner brothers, him and Rick.
Yeah,
back
him
in the
and
day.
Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
I was looking this up. So
You're talking about my youth now. This is exciting.
So I mean, yeah, their kayfabe names are like Scott and Rick Steiner, but like their real names, it's like Robert Rick Steiner and like Scott Rick Steiner.
Yes.
So they just used their like Rick, Rick Steiner. This is like, oh, last name chopping in half. Boom, that's my wrestling name.
Well, because if you have 3 names, you're a serial killer. So. Just like Toretto says to the Buster in Fast and Furious. Brian Earl Spillner.
Oh yeah,
A serial killer. True facts. Yeah, that was That was an awesome. It was like I think like 3 episodes. It was like a mini limited episode.
Oh, okay.
It was really fascinating though, because I didn't know any of the recent stuff. I haven't followed wrestling for 20 years.
Yeah, I knew it in passing because my neighbor across the lawn was into WWF, and we're going all the way back to elementary school. Yeah. So that is early '90s. Hulk Hogan, take your vitamins.
Yeah, buddy.
Era. And that was just something that was on when we were down playing in the basement.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, this is just a thing. And then, he had some of the action figures. But that was sort of it. But everybody at the school knew who Hacksaw Jim Duggan was. They knew Bret the Hitman Hart. Man, it's weird. Like, I'm not into it, and I can just name names.
Yes.
Like, I don't know any backstory. So obviously you had the Hulk, you had the Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
The Honky Tonk Man.
Which is just like an Elvis impersonator.
You had the Irwin R. Shyster.
IRS.
The IRS.
How about the Iron Sheik?
Yes.
Iron Sheik.
Back when we were going hard with Rambo 3.
I love the Iron Sheik's Twitter account. I think they were
He doesn't
running,
still have one.
He passed away like he passed away like I think 2 years ago.
So he doesn't still have one. But
I
he
think
had one.
But I think there's like still people tweeting on it like, yeah, the Iron Sheik's passed away, but like here's what the Iron Sheik's Twitter account.
Oh, him, yeah, because it was him against Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
that was America versus communist Iran.
And then you had what was it, Nikolai Volkov, and
Yes.
like they did that like whole like Iran Soviet Union like heel tag team thing.
Oh yeah. The end of the Cold War.
Yeah.
You had Zeus.
Zeus, I don't even remember Zeus.
Zeus?
I can't think of a Zeus.
Am I thinking of the right guy?
What about Mr. Perfect?
Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
What about the $1 Million Man?
Ted DiBiase?
Yeah. He does his like goofy all laugh. He's just like
yes. And then his like henchman ended up being his own wrestler at one point, Virgil. Yeah.
And then he was like signed. Wait, what was his? He was signed by like WCW, and they switched his name around in WCW.
Yes, they tried that a couple times, and you were like, "Have you heard of branding?"
Yeah, I mean, like
you heard of brand recognition? Chrysler's like, you know what? We're now named Funky Corporation.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a car from Funky Corporation.
the perfect two-car garage. It's the '70s Dodge Magnum, and then like 2000s Dodge Magnum.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go like Chrysler Aries.
Yeah.
Dodge Aries, Dodge Aries K,
or the
had
Valiant.
one.
The K car. Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's such a good car.
Is that us?
Nope.
Oh.
With a bomb going on.
That's a good Cold War missile silo alarm right there.
Yeah.
World War III just happened.
Yeah, Matthew,
Save yourselves.
Matthew Broderick is like running off to like NORAD
2012.
right now.
Underrated movie.
No, War Games. You ever see War
Yeah.
Games?
Well, that's an 80s movie.
Yeah, it's like Matthew Broderick, Ali Sheedy. Like
That
that's
was
one of
the
my
OG
favorite movies.
during the Cold War movie.
Yeah. When did War Games come out? It was like 83,
82, I think, right?
82?
Yeah.
It was one of his early roles. It was before
the wall came down in 89. It wasn't until 91 when the Soviet Union.
Oh, are we
actually
quiet
collapsed.
again? No, we can't
Well, that's
be
a
quiet
waste, 'cause
again.
This has been gold.
Yeah.
WWF throwback stuff right here.
Dusty
Said,
Rhodes.
hello.
I have hard times, Daddy.
I was gonna say that, and then his son Dustin
Yeah.
came in,
and
and now there's
at
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, who is wrestling this weekend. WrestleMania
John
this
Cena,
weekend.
right?
Yeah, John Cena's heel turn.
I haven't seen a WrestleMania
It
since
says-
I was 12, but I want to.
It says all our
so
mics
these-
are quiet, which is
They're
weird
quiet.
because we have good mic technique. We're talking into them.
Yeah,
All righty, time
at
for
least-
Brian to be the producer. I need a producer for this show, man.
What about the guy who doesn't have a mic? Does he look like a producer to you?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I love lamp. I love carpet. Rick, are you just looking around saying things you love?
Mid-century thermostats.
TBH.
TBH.
TBH, yes.
Yes. I love this lamp. I love stylophones.
Loud noises.
Yes. Oh my god.
I need to get a stylophone. Can you hear me?
Were you sandbagging us this whole time? Oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't possibly. Oh, you're using that software?
Oh,
I know everything about that. Yeah. I'm just going to sit here, though. I'm going to hang right here. It's much more comfortable.
Oh my lord.
I would have done the exact same thing, but you just blew your cover.
Oh my god.
I don't know how to work it very well, but I know what it is.
I like that you could apply that sentence to many
Yes.
scenarios.
Oh my god, yes.
I don't know how to
How are
work
your
it that
levels?
well, but I know
How are your
where it
levels
is.
looking like?
I feel like more of those would apply to guys than girls, but I think there's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple low-hanging fruits there. A couple heavy peaches.
The old heavy peach.
Oh,
That's a heavy peach.
holy moly.
That's a heavy
They are
peach.
juicy.
I,
You got your Armatron on today.
I do.
That is fantastic.
is that what that is?
Yeah, so we actually bought
Wait,
these
like
at the same time.
80s vintage?
watches.
We have matching watches and
No, they're
license
brand new.
plates, by the way.
What?
It's so gay.
It's so gay.
It's so
I
gay.
don't even have a matching watch or a matching
License plate. I actually tried to convince you to get a matching license plate. You didn't want to spend the extra money.
But
no,
now
I
they-
didn't
they
Boom,
want to
pretzel
spend
bread.
extra money for a matching license plate.
What's that?
And I was just saying, they still make these.
Yeah.
What?
These
So-
are brand new.
Yep. So those,
Seriously?
those are
Yep.
the those are the
Come on.
they are reissues
Oh.
of the reissues
They're
of the
so good.
1975 Armatron. That when they first
Yeah,
came
I
out.
I got
remember-
this in like
I
2023.
mean, okay, I wasn't alive in 75, but 85.
And they, well, when
I was 3 years old.
This
and they
was
were
still
still
in
making
style.
these.
Yeah.
These
My
were still
dad had a
making-
silver one of them.
That is awesome. The
He worked at
LED.
AT&T when AT&T was
Oh my.
was Apple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another one of my AT&T is another one of my big. I absolutely love AT&T and the giant that it was. And I mean, they're still
Yeah,
pretty.
I mean,
they're
it's
still-
not AT&T anymore.
It's not AT&T.
It's AT&T Wireless, the only actual company.
Yeah.
But yeah, my
Bell-
dad was working there right after they broke them up on an antitrust.
Yep. Yeah. 84.
And
Yep.
and they had to do because before that he worked at Lisa Metric, soldering circuit boards.
Oh my god.
No, he was my dad's an OG,
Yeah.
fully self-educated because you didn't have computer class back then.
Right.
It was
Oh,
called teach yourself how to do computer stuff.
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
like
passionate enough.
like here's a book on like intro to basic.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
like there you go.
Yeah. Like his graduated class from AT&T wrote that book. Yeah, but then they had Bell Labs when Bell Labs.
What color's your mic?
The color of my mic is white
White.
with a capital H.
Is that like cool whip?
Yes. Yes. It is 100% like
Say
that.
cool. Say whip.
Cool whip.
Say cool. Cool whip.
Cool whip. Cool whip.
Keep putting the H on it.
Jesus. But yeah, no.
Funny moments.
Wait, are you telling me they made a television show based on Family Guy Funny
That's
Moments?
crazy.
There's a 20-minute show. You can watch Family Guy Funny Moments for 20 straight minutes.
There's more funny moments. I thought it was just these little things.
I thought it was just
Right, I thought it was just
And
reels.
that was a show that was on for like a season or two, got canceled,
He got canceled.
Yeah.
and then
brought
was
it
one of
back.
the early internet movements
Yes.
to bring back a show.
Yes.
And then they were like, "All right, let's do this."
They
Seth
like, they were
MacFarlane was
screaming and
like, "I'm laughing all the way to the bank, baby."
yelling. Well, I think not to get into like a Family Guy segment, but like I think that
I mean, it seems less appropriate things to get into.
well, right. The one thing that stands out to me about Family Guy, I never watched it, obviously, because I was a very sheltered child. One, we didn't have cable, and two,
That's
we
gonna be
didn't
a
have and two, we didn't have internet. Three, my parents wouldn't let me go over to friends' houses to watch that. It was like they would tell the parents beforehand, "Do they have Family Guy? Don't let him watch it." So I was never able to watch Family Guy.
And the parents agreed like a bunch of commies.
Oh,
What the
exactly.
hell?
The freaking
Where's the
snitches.
rebellion?
Oh my God. Right.
Oh my god.
But no, and I never
It's a
got
Family Guy household. We watch Family Guy here.
I never got Family Guy exposure up until I was like later teens, early 20s, and now I really respect it because they had all of the entire cast. Seth had all the entire cast completely figured out on the pilot.
Yes.
If you watch the pilot, the voices are kind of different, but most of the voice actors are still the same. And in 1999, everyone is like they're the same color hair. I mean, like for the most part, like everybody is all figured
They're
out.
pretty. I mean, they're pretty
Simpsons-
on model. Like even from the pilot. Like if you
Yeah.
look at early Simpsons,
That's what I'm saying.
Like.
They're way different.
Like you got like Tracy Ullman Simpsons, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And then you got like,
And where the
early-
animation is like 50s Disney.
It's yes.
You're like, is it broken?
No, it's not even that. It's like sketch.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. 50s Disney, like hand drawn.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 97,000 pages of this drawing of this character
yes.
in 13 seconds.
Yeah.
And then you got like the first early seasons, and then like they're kind of getting their shape, and then like whenever like,
Literally getting their shape because they
Yeah.
changed shapes.
like, drastically. Yeah.
And then like there was like I don't know when the switchover was, and then it's like boom, and it's just been like the same since like
Yes, for 30.
Yeah.
Is it 40 years now? What was their launch?
We're
ni-
getting-
19-
86?
1980.
89.
Yeah. 89.
Oh, it was 9?
Yep. It
The
was
first-
89.
So-
Yep.
So they're 4 years away.
40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 36 years of The Simpsons.
Yep.
Wow.
Which is yeah.
I
which
like
is
the,
insane.
I like the finger math there, but we got it.
Yeah, wait, let
Oh my
me
God.
pull out a calculator.
Hold
No,
on.
I also need that. I just pretend that I don't do it.
I think
Yeah.
my favorite lore of The Simpsons and Family Guy is that Seth MacFarlane actually like retaliated against Matt Groening for one of the episodes where they're flipping through a book and he called Peter plagiarismo.
Yeah.
And I think that that started a feud between the two.
A real life feud?
No,
character
between like the characters, because the next episode,
You could have it be both.
I mean, not next episode, but the retaliation was that Quagmire sleeps with Marge, and then Peter kills his whole family.
That's
So-
a hard correction.
Yeah.
That's a hard. I've heard of market corrections.
Yeah.
I don't know if that falls into that bucket. That's more like Terminator Judgment Day.
yeah, yeah.
We're
It's
dropping a
just
nuke on
wild.
this show.
It's just wild.
And and people say, much like The Simpsons, that the Family Guy like lost its touch after season 9. I know everyone in all my super niche Family Guy groups are going to agree with me on that. But
Going full nerd here. I like it. Let's
post-season
dig.
9,
Let's
post-season
dig.
9, that's when they switched to digital. And so the season 9 is full digital animation.
Really?
And then from that point on. And so you do lose a little bit of the imperfections of the hand drawn characters and
Right.
stuff like that, but I think that
you
I
can't
think
take
it
away
remains
from
the same.
brilliant comedy.
You can't exactly. You can't take away from dry humor and cutaways. And some people say that Kevin, I love the cutaways, and he dogs on them, but I love him. Oh, you like him too? Okay. No.
Kevin's a cutaway hater.
No. He's not. No. No. I know people that are just like, oh well, it gets old after a while, and it's like our lives are all perpetual references.
I
If
know
you are making a
the
reference
funny
to something,
games you
that's a
play
cutaway.
Magic
We're
Man.
making a cutaway to Family Guy right now, and like that's just I
In
think
a
that's
movie, they call that a callback,
a callback. Yes,
which I like because it sounds much more pretentious.
it's a
like I make
Yes.
feature films, not movies.
feature. Oh my
That was a
God.
comedian. You ever watch comedians in cars getting coffee?
Yes, yeah.
They
Who was
had
that?
they did the rate. It was Jerry Seinfeld. And what do you do when you have more money than God? Do whatever you want.
Right.
So you just make a show where you hang out with other comedians because that's the only people.
We
you
just
like.
hang out, right?
And he has Will Ferrell in the car.
Oh,
They're
okay.
driving a Plymouth Superbird.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
wait, in New York?
I think that was still in Europe. Yeah, because they both live in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And they said rank these terms in order of pretentiousness: movie, film, picture.
Yeah.
Oh, the picture.
And
oh,
they're like, well, obviously, picture.
picture is number
It's-
one.
it's
And
the
obviously,
absolute
movie is about
Is-
film.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is the cool setting.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
the,
but
is
Where
the
would,
soft
where
setting.
would you rank feature? If you had to add feature into that.
It's always to me in front of the word film because
Right.
in the 80s and 90s, when you go to the movie theaters, we would have the trailers and
Yep.
then the feature film.
Yeah.
Do you remember ever having it as a feature
like-
by itself?
No, I've never.
And now,
feature?
the feature presentation.
And now our feature presentation. Yeah, yeah. As we
And
ride
it's like purple. Yeah.
And then the little film guy comes across for AMC. Silence is golden, and they go.
Yes. that is an oldie. That's a classic.
They
Oh, gotta take a drink. One of the take a drink because one of the GoPros fucked up.
L'chaim.
Mahaim.
Oh, dude, pour yourself more.
I'll pretend to drink.
It's not gonna drink itself.
Salute.
You want some?
No.
I mean, I'm gonna drink it, but it's not gonna drink itself. Here.
All right, which
this.
which GoPro fucked up?
Oh my
I
gosh.
feel like that was the yeah. I feel like that was the one to the right of the chair from sound.
GoPro, unshit my pants.
GoPro is short
Just
for
taking
Go
repeated
Professional.
Stills.
You guys can't
That
see,
could be
but they're
useful.
wearing big white boots right now.
Future Brian, you
Yeah.
should title this podcast "Technical Difficulties."
Oh yeah,
That's a great one.
dude. When I was on Amazon looking for more HDMI native HDMI cameras that aren't gonna cost me $800 from one of those pan and tilt ones.
Yes.
Came across they do make security cameras that are HDMI native out.
Yeah,
Like
that's how you
using
get the cheap
that.
good camera.
$140 a piece,
Yes.
HDMI 4K. I don't know what the picture's going to look like, but I could have then 4 of them, each one on different parts.
Yes, we had them at the shop like 6 years ago when they
Yeah.
were like early and they
Yeah.
were still good. Nowadays they're probably like nearly GoPro
Yeah. But,
in terms of what you would be using them for. you know?
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, they were. Those are. That's the value.
Yeah.
That's the value purchase.
Like every single like what I should have. I don't know. Have this podcast turn into like video production stuff. But what I should have
well,
done.
we did spend all of it up till this talking about 80s wrestling.
Yeah.
and then we just did 90s cartoons.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, no. Let's go video production.
If I could not have this problem if I just buy a PC and put it over there and have a bunch of USB ports and have that, but then I lose the ATEM, which is the analog blink, blink, blink between cameras.
Yeah.
So that any of us here, like when I said, "Hey, do you want to be the producer?" There's 4 buttons over there on the switcher. Pick each one.
It's like
No,
the
that's
Tru-
not the thing.
It's like
Yeah,
it's
fine.
like the
What?
Truman Show, but
I was
like
shaming her.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, it's like sometimes when Holly would come over here, would go over and then sit in the producer's chair and just keep the button to whoever's talking.
big shout out to Holly.
Yeah,
Hi Holly, if
they're
you're
over
watching
partying right now.
Does Holly drive a fuel injected car or a
Yeah,
carbureted car?
the company car that was outside. Yeah, the Ford Escape.
Escape.
Yeah,
Great Nemo throwback.
That
Callback.
reminds me of when you say escape like that. It reminds me of what Windows Vista called themselves. What was it? Oh, the Windows Mojave back in 2008. 2009.
Oh,
They're just
now
like,
we're gonna go Windows. Let's do this. Yeah.
Okay. Professional opinion on Windows.
Oh my
Brian,
god.
are you up for Windows? Are you up for a Windows conversation?
yeah. Go ahead.
Every second Windows is great, and every Windows in between that is bad.
Yes.
So like they get it bad, and then everyone says, "Here's everything you did wrong," and then they fix it, and then it's fine.
Yes.
So
and
what
if
about-
anyone in software understood cars, they would know that that's obvious because you never buy the first new model year of any car.
Yeah,
Because it has all the problems with all the new cool stuff.
Yes.
So
And
by
then
that-
the second and
by
third year,
that
they're like,
logic-
oh, I got this.
So by that logic, you're saying Windows 8.1
MR2.
is good.
Windows 8.1. No.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
saying
exactly.
that.
yeah.
I'm saying that. So we're gonna start with Windows 1. Windows 1 was incredibly terrible. The first Windows, and Windows 2. Windows 1 and 2 were pretty much the same. So they released patches of one. They never actually released 2.
Yes.
Windows 3.1 was a very, very solid graphic user interface system.
Yes.
It was you could do nothing wrong on Windows 3.1. You couldn't even basically like. So like the malware from like back then, like the early internet, it could not penetrate the Windows 3.1 and Windows 3.11, which was the I guess the professionals version of Windows 3.1. And then you go to Windows 95, absolutely dog shit terrible because it was beautiful and they had completely redesigned Windows from the ground up, but everything was wrong because they were figuring it out, cutting edge again. And then
And
Windows
yet,
98.
that is the Windows for anyone my age who
Yep.
remembers when that Windows 95 came out. You're like, oh,
Holy crap!
it's about to go down.
Yeah, it's because like everything, like the resolution is just exponentially larger, and
they
then
were
you
crushing
have
the GUI.
640 by 480.
just complete.
Oh my!
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait to open this folder and run Doom.
yeah.
oh my god.
That was part of my sophomore year in high school. We would do computer-aided design, like CAD drafting.
Yeah.
And then if you got done with the day's project, you could play Doom or Quake.
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 Holy moly!
There you go.
You guys played dangerously violent games.
Games
back
in
then.
school. How did you get away with? We
Yeah.
didn't get to do
Yeah,
that.
this was a specialist, Mr. Redman. He was the computer teacher.
Yeah.
And this is, we're talking 97.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, no one knows what you're doing in any other component of the school when you're in the computer lab. So you're like, oh, Mr. Redman, he's head of the computer department.
He does the computer
That's
stuff.
just witchcraft and magic. We don't understand that. He's probably jumping around chanting with a robe on and sacrificing virgins. And, they had no idea what was going on.
They probably vision computers as like an Atari like 400 where it's just a keyboard
or a Commodore.
Commodore,
Yeah.
Commodore PET.
Because I grew up on an Atari 800 playing
that's
Joust
fantastic.
and Missile Command.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That
Take
is-
it back.
Yep. But yeah, it's synonymous and it,
But yeah,
and it
you're right.
goes-
98 was a
98
massively
was
superior
fantastic.
product.
Yeah.
But yeah,
98
like to me, that's like an afterthought. It was 95.
right. 95 is the
But it was the
iconic
first one they called the year.
right.
Yeah. Which Windows was the one where they paid a shitload of money to the Rolling Stones for if you start me up, if you start me up, I'll never stop.
That had to be one of the horrible failures because they wouldn't have needed branding for. I feel like that would
Did
have
they
been
do
like.
that with 7?
No,
I feel like that was 2000
I'm looking
Might
it
have
up.
been Millennium.
Kevin, here's the
because
microphone.
2000 was horrible.
Yeah, Windows Millennium was probably
Yes.
the worst
And
one.
they
out
brought
of
out
all.
XP, which basically fixed all of that.
Yep. And then
And they brought out XP
Windows
Professional.
XP.
I
Yeah.
miss
And,
Windows.
people still use XP. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a great offer.
Dude, I used XP on work computers until nothing would support it anymore.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Because I was like, you can't get better than this.
That is literally
Oh,
the
Pretty
peak.
much.
Right.
Yeah, and then Windows Mojave Vista was a disaster, a complete disaster.
Yes,
And
Windows,
they-
yes. I remember when that
fixed
came. What year was Vista?
So that was 08.
2007.
Yeah, 07,
Was it
08.
that late?
Yeah, yeah. Well, because XP, they had
That was a
released so many
colossal failure.
patches. Yeah, they released so many patches of XP because
lasted a
everyone
while.
loved XP, and it lasted all the way through Vista until
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, we're never using Vista because this is garbage. And then 7 again fixed everything.
Yeah,
and then,
7 fixed Vista, right?
And then
Yep, 7 fixed Vista, and then 8, and the whole 8 sphere was,
Awful.
as we all know, completely garbage.
When, and then like
Minimalism.
Microsoft was like, hey, let's release phones that are like Windows 8. And then they never sold.
Put the damn squares on them. Oh my god!
It was all piles.
They did the in the car world, the international precursor to every massive accident. Watch this. We're gonna do what Steve's doing. Oh,
It's like, it's
didn't
like Windows.
work.
Yeah,
It's like Windows
but it comes in
7.
yellow.
But it comes in yellow.
It's like
And you
Windows.
can hook that up to your Zune.
Oh my god,
the Zune, yes.
Oh,
You're, if you run a Larkin after this, you're gonna see a few Zunes.
oh really? Seriously?
Alan has a Zune, and I think
No way.
Frey has a Zune.
You can still run that?
yeah.
I mean, it just runs on MP3s. I guess.
like-
the Bill Gates iPod.
Yeah, the Bill Gates iPod.
Yes, it was Microsoft's iPod.
I don't know about this.
You don't know about the
sweet.
Zune?
They're sweet.
I've never seen one.
Dude, I had a Zune.
Is that it?
I had a pink
but
one.
that's it.
You know, my
So it was
mom's
90. Was Windows 95?
ex-husband had a phone.
So it was
that
95. They did the Rolling Stones launch.
95.
Wow.
No way. I mean,
That's a very Apple
tracks.
thing of them to do.
it actually is because it's the it's synonymous with the U2 thing that they forced us all to have.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
On the
Yeah,
iPod.
on the
Yes,
iPod.
the first
Oh,
iPod.
I remember. That.
Like I remember like
Well,
getting
forget about
that. It
that.
was
Go
like-
to the Macintosh launch in '84.
Yeah, where 1984 won't be like 1984.
That's right. And they
Yep.
did the full Brave New World. I think it was actually. Did we have to read that book in high school? Brave New
I did.
World. Is it Brave New World?
It was. I
remember
think it was
everything
based
about
That
off.
was. It was George Orwell. It was 1984. George
It was
Orwell.
based off. Yeah, it was based off 1984.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing. An Orwellian society. It's
Yep.
now called.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
yes.
Have you ever seen the 1999 Super Bowl commercial that Apple did with like HAL 9000, like like
Yes.
2001, and
That's iconic.
Oh, not the 1984 one. Excuse me.
yeah, they had there was a 1984 one that they did for the
Yeah,
Super
with Big
Bowl.
Brother and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The gift that everybody uses whenever Matt does something on the Telegram channel.
Yes. Oh my god. It's like you cannot oppress me.
Matt, if you're listening, hi, I love you.
If you can't hear me, sign language version of that.
But in '99, they did another Super Bowl commercial. I think there was one in '85 that like really was ass, but they didn't do Super Bowl commercial until like '99 when Steve
talking
Jobs
Apple.
was back in the company.
Yes.
And they did one.
He came back in '97.
Yeah.
After he made them buy his company Next, which
Yeah,
was a
Next.
complete
Next.
piece
Yep.
of garbage for $500 million.
Yep.
But they
You
did
want me back? $500 million.
But they did another Super Bowl commercial, and it was just HAL 9000 like talking about
I
like
remember that. Yeah.
like, oh yeah, the robots do this, and it's like, the 2000s bug, and it's like, Macintosh doesn't really do that.
Yeah, it's like they're looking at him stupid because it's just, yeah.
Well, do you?
Macintosh is not-
Well, so
Yeah.
technically, you can't
Yeah.
remember. You can't remember Y2K. You can't remember it either because you were an infant. Y2K was real.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when that was coming, you know how many companies made billions of dollars off that fake shit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Genius
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah.
Holy
like the
moly.
doomsday level.
Yeah.
Right? Like you remember that viscerally, right?
Yeah, it
Like,
was.
everybody's like the world is ending.
It's right along the lines of the people who sold that little shield you put in your cell phone between the batteries so it blocks the
Holy
signal
moly.
from giving you brain tumors.
Yes.
So I have a
The
little
whole world was like
I have a little
what
family
the
it's
happen?
about to go
yeah,
down.
I have a little family history with Y2K.
Go on.
My
Your mom told you about it.
my aunt Kim, my aunt Kim, she was a programmer. I know she worked for Johnson and Johnson.
Time to take a drink.
Time to
Which
take
one?
a drink.
Yep.
It's the Hero 6.
Bam.
Cheers to the Hero 6.
Salute. I'm not drinking tonight right now. But anyways, I don't know. She did work for Johnson and Johnson. I don't know if she was working for Johnson and Johnson at the time, but during Y2K, she was actually hired to future-proof all the systems at the
Oh, yeah.
company she was working for at the time.
Every Fortune 5000 had an entire department or a consultancy they hired just for that. And I remember watching the ball drop, and everyone's like, 5, 4, get the guns! 3, 2, lock the doors! 1. Oh, my shit still works.
Okay.
All right, never mind. Never mind. We're good.
If it was
It was crazy.
if
Like,
it was
end of the
actually
world, digital end of the world.
if it was actually a thing, you got to think like you would have heard about it that day because like Australia enters the new millennium like
Yeah.
a few
37
hours.
hours before us.
Yeah, like a trillion hours before like the Eastern Seaboard.
Australia is 6 hours behind us tomorrow.
Right. So 18 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the
Crap, you
the
did
morning
6
for
hours
them right
behind us
now.
tomorrow, though.
That was actually, yeah.
Wait,
Kevin was getting out the hands, breaking out the hands again too for.
Oh my god.
keep it on my phone.
I'm not gonna let that go tonight. 'cause
Yeah, it is 10 a.m. in Sydney right now.
I also
Oh,
do it.
that's
You
even
just don't
more,
see it.
yeah.
I do it over here. I do it over here. Doing the finger count. Yeah, you just can't see it. Got to keep it on the DL. So we called it in 2000s. Down low.
That's called. You know how that started, right?
The DL?
Yeah.
Or
What?
Y2K?
Oh
no.
Hero
Wham!
6 again. Hey.
I like this game.
Salute.
If you show me what I'm doing, I could probably help you out with that.
Here she goes.
Okay.
You know that commercial Mandy to the rescue? Kim to the rescue.
Yeah.
Can we go Kimmy to make it sound like Mandy?
Kimmy to the
my
rescue.
God.
Kimmy to the rescue.
Here's what you got going on here.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I was definitely not born with it. Now I got to run the Target to do my makeup.
Oh my god.
Wait, were you born in 2001?
Yeah, I was born in 01.
Post 9/11?
Pre 9/11
Pre
by 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So I can say I was.
Wait, which? So you were a New Year's.
I don't.
New Year's Eve, baby.
I think it was Christmas.
Pretty
I was
much.
late.
Oh, really?
I was 2 weeks.
I was going
late.
aggressive on your
my
rate of
birthday.
maturity in the womb. I was trying to give you props. Yeah.
I was like,
He
yeah.
wasn't a full 9
Let
weeker.
me call my mom. Hey, when was I conceived?
Mom, number of weeks I was in the womb. Go.
I was born on.
She knows.
I was
She still
conceived on
knows.
Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
Every mom knows.
1996.
Oh yeah.
I carried
When's your birthday,
you
November?
for
Literally
39.15
9 months
weeks.
after Valentine's Day.
How dare you talk
November
back?
14th. There you go.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
No,
Shout out to mom and dad.
I don't understand how any human survives that. I know humankind would not exist if men had to do it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah. No.
I'm out. You want that's to come.
No.
I'm not gonna do
skip
it.
that. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Rain check.
Yeah. It's like trying to say Okinawa. Can't do it.
It's yeah. It's
We have a super chat. So someone,
for sure.
someone paid. We got a super chat.
Hey yo.
Hey,
Super chat.
Is it burgundy?
Wait. We got a super chat. What does it say? What is this?
Do you guys watch World's Wildest Police videos, and if so,
Yes.
Do we watch?
Yes.
Do we watch Cops?
Yeah.
No.
You can go like. I know this is like a little bit prima donna, but when I'm talking, you can give me my camera. Or like when Justin and me are talking, you can choose the camera for us. This couch is like the one camera. Is like the close-up camera. Oh, you're fine.
Okay.
I saw you over there. And then like anybody else, the wide angle.
We like, and then maybe like a little tight close up on Brian.
Yeah.
You know, like just like a zoom effect.
So yeah.
Half angle.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat. I remember World's Wildest Police Chases because they were on Thursdays. And Thursday was the last day of the week I had at home because Friday I didn't go home because it was football.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't play football, I was in the marching band.
Yes.
Which meant I'm pretty much go where the football team goes.
You played football by proxy.
Yeah. I know how the game is played, and we had to know how the game is played because I don't know if this was the rule everywhere, but at least in like whatever district or whatever where we played, the band could get a penalty.
Yes.
No
Yeah,
way.
we had
We
that.
had
What?
that too.
Yeah, we had that in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, we had that too.
So
It's complicated science.
It's
right. You can only play music when your team has the ball.
Yes.
You can't be an antagonist for the
No.
You can't
for
music
the
heckle.
defense.
No.
Yeah.
No. So
Even though I couldn't think of
we
something
were
more
we were
fun.
the
Well, no,
opposite.
in the Midwest we
in
did
a
that.
way.
In pro football, they do that.
Yeah, exactly.
We were the opposite. When the visiting team had the ball, we could play to our heart's content.
Where are we
just
here?
before the snap.
Where are we located for this school?
I'm originally from the Poconos, so I went to Strasburg.
Oh, really?
Go
So that's
Mounties.
PA.
Strasburg, okay.
and
So you would
we did-
play when the opposing team had the ball. Interesting.
And that was not only allowed but encouraged,
Or was it?
almost required.
But we couldn't play after they snapped the ball. Like as soon as they snapped the ball, it's just like everybody
In
shut up.
between, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that aspect. But yeah, I had the same rules as you.
Yeah, I
You
think I
couldn't play
remember that
against them.
too. When
Yeah.
the ball's in play,
Yeah.
shut up.
Which is funny.
Stop
because,
the song immediately.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous because when you're playing on the field, you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Really?
Because it's tunnel vision. You don't like. I only played freshman and sophomore year football because my team was so horrible. I was like, I'm not wasting my time or 3 shoulder surgeries on this.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, no, right, yeah.
And
I
I'm
get
not going anywhere. I was
Yeah.
5'9", $150. Like, yeah, I'm going D1. Yeah, D4 is like, no. How about no? No. Why don't you try out for the intramural league? You probably do good there.
Oh my
D4 is like if
I don't know.
like
Is there a D4? I know there's a D3.
It's like if like all the colleges in like Wynwood down here had like a football team. It's like that's like Villanova's football team.
That was the equivalent of my high school football team. We were so bad. We were 0-9 freshman year, our freshman team.
Ooh.
Sophomore year, we were 0-9, and then they created something which I don't think they technically named, but we called the Toilet Bowl. Not to be confused with the Rose Bowl. That's
Right.
the opposite side.
Right.
And we played East Rutherford, and it's the only game I won in 18 games playing for that team.
Wow.
And we crushed it. And I was like, East Rutherford, how do we beat like a built-up like urban team?
Yeah.
That is not happening. We're like a podunk North Jersey cows and chickens team. Yeah.
Dang, yeah.
When we won that game, I was so excited. I was like,
They sent-
I'm retiring on a win.
You played against the summer school.
Oh my God. It was a separate team. Yeah.
You played at East Rutherford, like played against East Rutherford. You played in Giant Stadium. Was that their high school football
but we played
team?
like a mile from Giant Stadium. I was so excited because you're driving towards it, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, this is it. Oh.
Did you go to Giant Stadium for any like marching band stuff?
All right. Yes.
Yeah.
So we only did one competition. Like our band was not a competition band. We only played this one competition because it's like, oh, you got to go play in Giant Stadium. And
good God.
I have a
The
story.
Three Amigos, a marching band.
I think I told you this at work today. So there is at the competitions, it's like the parents could pay money for like a shout out to their kid in the band, like
Love
whenever
it.
their band would come up.
I do this at all the bars where you can pay the singers to like randomly say stuff.
Yeah.
$50, say Ron Burgundy sucks. Even though I love Ron Burgundy.
But yeah, it's just like having your name shouted out on like the MetLife like PA system. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's cool.
Be badass.
The percussion section got together. They all threw in money, and they had the guy say, "What if people was spelled Peeple? I think that would be funny."
Technically, that's how it should be spelled.
So we're all yeah. It's like the
you were
weird way
learning
you can
English.
like it's like the weird way you can like spell like Tony like PHEN. Anyways, we're all walking out of the tunnel in Giant Stadium. Everybody's like all hyped up and like it's like, oh, to Alyssa from Mom and Dad, have a good show. To John, you did great this year. Have a good show. What if people was spelled Peeple? I think that would be funny.
That was the actual announcement?
Yeah.
That's
It
fantastic.
was so funny. Like everybody's just like walking out like we're still in time. We're all snickering. It was so funny.
That's fantastic.
Say that at Giant Stadium.
They should have gotten paid for that show.
Oh my gosh.
That was good. No, marching band, pep band, and like all the bands that like besides the one that you were sitting in the classroom for was fun because it added.
Concert band was fun sometimes.
No. Like I shouldn't say that
Concert
concert band was
band,
bad.
ugh.
I shouldn't say it was bad. I should say that like when I got to play a fun piece, like when you get to like when your mind gets to turn and like and like all that kind of stuff, like that's fun. But like when you're sitting there like playing pieces that like. It's like okay, wow, we're playing this is whatever movement by whatever guy that I really don't care about, or we're playing Chicago because like in pep band you're playing Chicago, you're playing like all this like hype music and like from like the 70s and
I would go Super Saiyan on that song.
Oh,
because
Dragon Ball Z reference.
Yeah,
Come on.
Oh my
bass
God.
drummer. I would have my bass drum, or four of us. I would be like one of the drummers on the back of the doof wagon from Mad Max.
oh my God.
Because I had the drum in front of me, and you could lean it up because the drummers, we sat at the very front of the bleachers where the railing is, and you could have the drum right up against the railing. So I would be up here, and I knew enough not to do rim shots on the hoop, because on a bass drum, it's called a hoop, not a rim.
You'll snap your stick.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're already
So I could
rim
just hit the aluminum bleacher railing. So that would be my drum hit. So I'll be boom 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 chaka boom 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 chaka boom boom. I would be in there. I would be so locked into it, not looking at the conductor, and I would just get this unworldly energy to do this. And the rest of the bass line was kind enough like, okay, Brian needs this song.
Give this to him,
Give
please.
this one. Okay, Brian can get, and like looking back, it was all like the gay repression rage. You're in freaking Schuylkill County, going to Blue Mountain, can't be gay, I can't, but in like little minor sliver, like a fillet knife slicing sashimi, I get these moments of self-expression. And even though Iron Man is one of the manliest songs ever written,
No doubt.
maybe it's sort of like a Tom of Finland moment in music where I can just go full on this.
Yeah.
I'm picturing you
yeah.
Disturbed, Down with the Sickness.
Holy yeah.
moly.
That's
Yeah.
one of the. That was one of my favorite weightlifting weight room songs. I just feel like because it's just
Yeah.
the opening is exactly right.
Yeah.
Or like little System of a Down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that feels that energy.
Was Wolfpack making music? No, not Wolfpack. What am I
Yeah,
talking
Wolfpack is jazz.
Volbeat. That's who I'm
Volbeat.
thinking of.
You like jazz?
You like jazz?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Imagine.
Volbeat?
I can't say I do.
I personally don't.
Corey Wong from who's done
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
with Wolfpack.
I know
played
Rammstein,
the
which has
Jazz
no
Fest.
letters in concert
Yeah.
with that at all. But they came out with Du Hast
Yes.
for
Yeah.
Matrix when I was in high school.
Yup.
And that was always your opener in the weight room mix.
Oh my god.
I wish this was an AD podcast so we could just play music on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Come Town.
I mean, how long?
Comtown
I
did
mean,
it,
how
so,
long?
yeah.
you can make it. You can make it.
When
whatever
I
you want.
heard the episode with you on it, I was like, I know that freaking guy. Holy crap!
I know him.
crap.
I know him.
It's not out of the question. Like, literally, I was just texting with Nick Mullen on Wednesday. Shout out Classic Comtown. Like, I forgot. I'm, like, looking back, and I know I am so sorry that this is name dropping. But, like, Mullen and I are acquaintances, but we only ever met at the New York Auto Show.
Yeah.
And that's now. It's happening now.
Right.
This is the public weekend starts tomorrow. But
That's
the
cool.
press weekend was Tuesday, Thursday, and he and Nick was there Tuesday, and I get this text. I'm waking up. I'm still thinking about my fursuit crush. I have a boner. am I going to bust into this towel for my morning constitutional?
For your morning
my
ritual.
morning bust.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't
Before
the
I go.
fursuit be kind of a wearable towel?
Okay, so we can
I
get
mean,
into that.
I've seen some fursuits who are so
I'm just
mad
thinking
at
in
it,
terms
it's
of
like
efficiency.
terry cloth.
You're wearing.
Like,
I don't
okay.
think you want to be in it long after, but
Well, what's the acronym? SPH?
Something like that.
Strategically placed hole. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, Mr. Fursuit Maker. I have to use the bathroom sometimes, and I do not want to desuit. Can I have this hole that I can? That is
Yes, that
specifically
is-
this length.
and only yes, I'm merely using it. I need and can you
not so much here or really here, but
Right.
right here. Nope,
and
ship shape.
can you just can it just continue down past the balls and taint to the rectum
Yeah.
around?
Sometimes I
and
really
Kim
gotta
is hiding
scratch
her
my
face
ass.
at the producer's desk. This is where you can put the camera on yourself, like your expression right now.
That's what we
You
need a
knew
second
ab-
producer.
You knew about this.
That's incredible.
You know about the strategically placed hole. I need to get the Zoom mixer mic so we can have 6 channels so the producer can have their own mic over there. You can just pot yourself in it. Kim, you know about the strategically placed hole.
Where are the
She has 3
strategically?
fursuits.
Where are
It's
the
about a strategically placed hole.
She has 3 fursuits.
where are the strategically placed hose? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. I want to know where the strategically placed hose are. Where are they at?
Where they at?
They're going to be at the dance at 1:50 a.m. They're going to be the ones.
Destroyed, falling
Why-
over themselves.
No, not what. White
Right at the end of the Sensational set. Shout out to
yeah.
Sensational.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Claw's not getting you to 150. You need to be vodka and vodka at that point.
Four Loco. You need like original
Yeah.
formula.
But like the girls love their vodka because I can't do tequila because I had one night where.
How much?
You
how
gave
much-
up after one night?
How much do you think it would cost to
Twitter.
book Baby No Money for Philadelphia?
Way too
Holy
much.
moly.
Was that?
I love Baby No Money.
Yeah.
Way too much.
Rapper.
He's like a rapper. He's like if
Oh,
like,
but he's British Columbia.
like
He's-
Eminem, but a zoomer and funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes,
mean-
actually, yes. He is. He's Gen Z's like. He's Gen Z's. Well, like, I would say like central rapper icon. I would say that, like. I would say so. I would say like everyone that's chronically on the internet. That's all right.
He's like if
I don't want to call him novelty rap because it's generally it's pop rap.
he
in
used
my
to be,
opinion.
yeah.
Yeah. Baby, no, money.
It's like oh god.
Is that like that song from the 90s? Baby, I got your money, got your money. Hey, hey.
I love Sriracha.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love all of his songs.
I mean,
We're talking about the hot sauce?
I love hot sauce.
I love.
I do love Sriracha.
I love
I
Scotch.
haven't listened to that.
I love
song, but I love the sauce
antidepressants.
I would have to say edamame is probably my favorite one.
Edamame, yes.
Yep.
What's the
Eddie Mommy is
Something
also
chick-
a rapper name?
that's a
Oh
song.
well, that's where he had the guest rapper.
Young is Young Gravy on
he
that one?
does stuff with Young Gravy, which is another one.
I can't
Dude,
keep
I
up
lo-
with these new children rap names.
No, Young
I
Gravy.
had
You
good
would like
ones
Young
like
Gravy.
Ice Cube, Ice T, Snoop Dogg,
Yeah.
Tupac,
the RZA.
Notorious B.I.G. That was a little long. We'll
Yeah.
call him Biggie.
Yeah.
And then the Eminem.
The Eminem.
The Eminem.
That's what rap
And
ended
then
for me.
and then 50 Cent.
50
Cent
a
was an
little
Eminem
later.
product. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, In the Club was the tail end of my awareness of rap culture.
Of rap
so that's like 2001.
Yeah, like 6, 7.
So a cool quarter century ago.
Yeah, you
checked out.
you got Wu-Tang, RZA.
Yeah, no, that was my brother. That was too hard for me.
Old
I
Dirty
could
Bastard.
do Tupac. I could do DMX. But come on, woo! That's all 5 of his songs.
Oh my God.
Tie it back to wrestling.
Good segue.
With Sean Rothman, when he went to WCW, they called him Six because he was the 6th member of the NWO at the time. They called him Six Pac. So then when he went back to WWF, that's why he was called X Pac.
Yes, I remember that. That was a good callback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember X-Pac. Was X-Pac the one that created the...
Yeah, I mean he was in DX,
Right? That was DX, right?
Yeah, because it was HBK,
He was the
Triple
X in
H, China.
Yes, Triple H.
I need.
Triple H, best intro music ever as far as I'm concerned for wrestling.
I kind of need
I do not know.
1999 China to beat me up in a low key, high key.
and middle key and all the other keys.
all the keys.
You're not fooling anybody, buddy. We got you.
I need to get like my head between enormous legs, and we're talking about the same China, the female.
Yeah.
The first big female wrestler.
She's not built like a brick shit house. She's built like a steel shit house.
Yeah, because brick you can knock down. Steel you can dent maybe.
R.I.P. China. I know.
Well, wasn't she dated Ricky Cuervo?
I think
one of the.
I think she dated.
They were like, I think they got married.
X-Pac or something.
Was he X-Pac?
I remember.
like
I know
a
she
Ricky-
dated another wrestler.
Ricky Slippy, Slappy, Swanson? Maybe it's on the briefcase. Samsonite.
Back to Swanson.
You're the only one that got that call back?
Yes.
I don't know.
Back to Ron
I have no
Swanson.
idea.
Dumb and Dumber.
I know.
If you haven't seen Dumb and Dumber, my friend, you might as well not even be alive right now.
I'm uncultured. I haven't seen it.
Mrs. Samsonite.
What?
Slippy, Slappy,
Slappy.
Swanson. And he gets it right because it's Swanson.
Yeah, it actually is Swanson.
Maybe it's in a briefcase.
I think
Samsonite. Wait, Mrs. Samsonite.
I don't see her here. She must be enlisted.
Oh my God, my dad was. I remember watching that movie with my dad and just like and
Maybe the greatest.
So.
Oh yeah.
So
oh my God.
she dated Triple H.
Yes,
before Triple H got with Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, before
And
he
then-
traded up. And financially.
And then after that, she did date X-Pac for a little bit.
Yeah, come on. That was the end of my WWF before they made them change it to WWE.
WWE.
Because
Yes.
the World Wildlife
Wildlife
Federation was like, hey, you know how you've been doing this for 30 years? We now have a problem.
yep. As of right
Because
now.
everyone thinks that's what we are.
And they're not the
Right, so I'm confused with the bad branding here. Hundreds of millions of people know your initials and can search them on Google.
Yes.
And you're like, you cut that out.
They're not the World
you cut
Wildlife
that out.
Fund anymore. I think.
And wasn't it only because it was only because
They sued them.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it
they
was
sued them,
trademarked.
but like it was based on just the age of the acronym. That was it.
Oh, I thought it was just because they had it trademarked.
Yeah,
I have like 4 companies trademarked.
What
that
are
I
we
never
talking
started.
about?
WWE.
So I
get
was
the
like, this is
FL.
going to be the big one. I'm trademarking this,
it.
baby.
Yep.
That's not going anywhere.
That's okay.
All right.
I mean, like,
But they only last 7 years.
Here's the funny thing.
I didn't know that.
Well, the ones I did.
Here's the funny thing. World Wildlife Fund changed their name like recently. They're called the Worldwide Fund for Nature. I guess they just kind of
WFN?
so they're WWFFN.
Wow. So they were like, WWF, all this free publicity, this earned media, you got to change your shit.
You gotta change it.
And then we're going to change it to something completely unintelligible and unmemorable. The WWBCW11, we're just doing TBS
Yeah.
channel.
Ampersands.
Yeah. A&E, exclamation point. They're basically a password.
password.
They just need a capital and a lowercase. That's it. They're
Oh,
good.
also shout out for great name changes. So Lancaster Mitsubishi.
This is a great category. Oh, this should be a thing.
Lancaster Mitsubishi sold out in the late 2000s to Platinum Mitsubishi, and Platinum Platinum just said goodbye, and Lancaster Mitsubishi said, we don't need you. Back to Lancaster Mitsubishi. Lancaster is back in the game.
I didn't know that.
Lancaster's back.
Lancaster Mitsubishi is called Lancaster Mitsubishi.
Lancaster
Lancaster
sold to
Mitsubishi's
Platinum.
back.
So Platinum pulled out, actually. But
Lancaster sold to Platinum
pullout.
So yeah, so
Like sold the business.
Yeah, so Platinum was like, "Hey, we want every Mitsubishi dealer
Right.
in the
They did
central
like a Ray
Pennsylvania
Cattina
area.
Paul Miller in New Jersey. Like
Exactly.
I want all of the dealers.
Yep. Platinum said that, and then Lancaster's like, "Okay, whatever." And then and then Platinum
just bailed?
I'm not sure if they came on hard times or whatever, but Lancaster's like, "If you're
Feel
not
like you
going
need
to
at least
provide
a
us
10%
more,
sale there.
right." But
So they just got it back.
yeah, I
Like,
mean,
we're back.
we had someone come in a couple days ago to the dealership. They were just like, oh yeah, we're dropping off a car for Lancaster Mitsubishi. You mean Platinum? Oh no, we're back to Lancaster Mitsubishi. And I was like, like the guy was at the counter. The guy was at the. And this is so nerdy. I'm sorry, but like the guy was at the counter and like he's like, oh no, we're back to Lancaster Mitsubishi. And he like tilts his glasses a little bit, and I'm like, I just wanted to just smooch him. I just wanted to. I was just like, holy frick! I was like, dude, you guys. You understand that people in Lancaster want things to be named Lancaster, even though there's like
Lancaster
nothing-
#1, baby.
Lancaster #1. But like,
This is what
Lancaster, not Lancaster.
Yeah, it's
right, yes,
Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Not Lancaster.
Yes.
Lan kissed her.
Yes, this is
Yes.
No, it's
Brian and I were talking about this. In the 80s, every business was named either the family,
Yep.
you know, or Arturo and Sons, right? Plumbing.
Yes.
And then what they did, plumbing, right? Then it was 2000s. Now you had or 90s, you had the Yellow Book. Everybody was AAA, plumbing,
Yep. Yes.
right? And then you went to SEO Google in the mid 2000s, location and what you did, which Brian and I were joking about this when we were in town before. It was Brian, what was it? It was what was the town we were in?
Main Street Brewing.
Yes, Main Street,
Main Street
Pizza
Brewing.
and Brewing.
And brewing.
So there's no confusing about what they do, but which
Right.
one's the focus?
Right.
Because I don't want to go to a pizzeria that serves
that
beer,
also has beer.
but a brewery that serves pizza.
Great.
I'm on board
But
with that.
the first one, right? Exactly,
Yeah.
because they prioritize it.
Yes.
Yep.
And now in the modern world, none of it matters.
Yeah, and like if
Like Gary
I'm-
Vee always says, he's like branding matters in how good you are getting people to know who you are, and no matter how big you are, most people don't know who you are. Like every time I've done something where people are like, "Oh,
It's like the
that's really
same-
good,"
It's
and I'm
like,
like, no one knows who I am. Everyone I meet, they're like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "You don't understand? I was the biggest builder of Toyota MR2s in the world." And they're like, "Toyota what?
Total what?
What? MR2? What's that? Is that a Camry
And the
model?
crazy thing
is that
is,
a
like-
submodel?"
That's that weird Porsche Carrera thing they did in the 2000s.
Oh my gosh!
We called it the baby Ferrari because we were aspirational idiots.
No, but you're
It
right.
wasn't
though.
a baby Ferrari.
For everybody here,
like
I mean,
table.
the second gen, like the SW20,
That's what I
SW21. If you like
I built more
squint
than
your
them than
eyes
anybody.
and tilt your head a little bit, it looks like a Ferrari.
yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
suck,
because it looks like an NSX. Which
like literally,
looks
I'm gonna
like
suck Justin's dick for a minute. Like
Metaphor.
the person who's sitting here is the best Toyota MR2 builder in this hemisphere.
Was.
outside
way.
of Japan was. Yeah,
Was
this
many years ago
This
now.
guy would do
That's how we
SW20s that made 300 to the wheels.
Holy
In that
crow.
small of a car.
in a car that made 170 at the wheel from the factory.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the
And
power
would not-
actually wasn't the big mover. We were putting in these much more modern engines from Japan, which never came here. But it was the delivery, which was modern delivery. Like
Yeah.
what you think of now,
Yeah.
it was near that level, but with more noise.
Yeah. Wow. Like I
None of
dri-
this silent
That's like
silencer
putting a
airbox
Hemi
stuff.
in like a
Yeah,
first gen Neon.
Yeah, so he met me the first time because
I wrote an article about him for Road and Track before meeting him.
no
for a
way.
Mark 1.5.
He made this build called the Mark 1, the AW11.
Yeah.
He made one called
Which
the
made
Mark 1.5.
115 horsepower.
Yes, and I owned one. I own a white one.
Yeah.
You took a Gen 4
Yes.
3SGE. That's the one that I recently did a video of the Toyota Altezza. Mm-hmm. That's that engine with then a turbo. So the Gen 4 3S the 3SGT the 3SGE, the naturally aspirated one, is the closest thing Toyota ever made to an F20. Like a Honda.
It was their F20 before
Yeah.
the F20 existed.
Right.
Yeah.
This is in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then they did what Toyota took another 20 years to do. is put a turbo on that. So then you could have, 7,200 RPM and a turbocharger, and because it's Toyota, it's fucking overbuilt as shit.
Obnoxiously.
Yeah, but we never got that engine. It was only in Japan.
It was in a 5-door all-wheel drive hatchback. Think WRX wagon.
No way.
Toyota made.
In 9 different versions and trims.
They're about.
Of course
they're
it was.
about
Yeah.
to come here, and Toyota made a WRX competitor, and it's called the Caldina.
Yes.
250 horsepower is the stock number. It's capable of so much more, but instead of Subaru with its head gasket problems in the 90s and 2000s, what if you didn't have that and you had Toyota build quality and you had a Transverse 4?
Yeah. What if you had a 90s Toyota, the most reliable vehicle possible, and a WRX that didn't rust? That was the Caldina, and it never got here. Australia, New Zealand, and Japan only.
Yeah. So, but there was, at that time, you couldn't import the car. There was nothing wrong with importing the engine, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
engines
import
all
anything
day.
you want,
Yeah.
as long as it's not attached to a car.
So he would get the engine and transmissions, take that, put it in the MR2. Because it's Toyota, it's the same engine, just turn around.
That required the Mark 1.5 was before we had created a plug-and-play solution. So, for the one he drove was Luke Habermill,
Yep.
who was an awesome guy.
Yeah.
And had a gorgeous Mark 1 and actually had, build a car for us in the first 3 years when we were charging a third of what you needed to be charging, but still more than anybody else to
Yeah.
build a better car.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I want all of it. And I was
Yeah.
like, all right, well, you understand that Mark 1 brakes not exactly designed for triple the horsepower. And he's like, all right, give me your brakes. I'm like, suspension? I'm like, I'm not trying to sell him. I'm like, this is a safety thing. I don't want to drive the car.
Right.
Yeah.
And after we built that car, which was built correctly, which almost never happens.
Yeah.
I was then like, if you want certain aspects of the car, like certain metrics or numbers, I won't build it unless you can afford this price because I'm not driving that car. Especially a Mark 1. Like a Mark 2, you can just drop the motor in. Even stock NA brakes, everything's over-engineered in those cars.
Okay.
You're fine. It's not optimal, but you're not going to die. In a Mark 1, you drop that engine in and you just go drive a Mark 1, stock suspension, stock brakes. First corner you hit, you don't stop or turn fast enough, and you are in the woods.
Holy cow.
And that's where the Mark 2s got their reputation for snap oversteer.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I can
Yeah.
attest to in multiple MR2s. I had 9 MR2s before I ever built one.
Yeah. So I drive his, what do you call it, the Mark 1.5.
Yeah. The best one ever built.
Yeah.
Ironically,
And you also needed the water to air
air to water intercooler. Yeah, because there was nowhere to
there's-
put the air to air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I drive this thing, and it's a Gen 1 Toyota that's making triple the horsepower, and this thing will eat a Lotus Elise.
Oh.
And it's like, this is what a Mark 1 is really like. It's sort of in the same vein of when I drove Mike Shankernick's LS DeLorean. It's like, this is what this car was really meant to do. This is the Lotus chassis brought to life. I'm driving this at back roads, and it was around Lancaster. There was this wrap shop or
Because you ran into
detail
him at
shop.
a car show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you want to drive this? And we're driving around the roads of Lancaster. I'm like, holy crap. It's and it's digging in as I put the power down.
That's
He was running Workmeister, custom offset and size, front to back stack, double stagger wheels.
Holy
And
crap.
those are $3,000 wheels.
Right.
Mark 1 guys paid $1,500 for their cars back then.
Yeah.
I had 8 of them.
Yeah.
That's
So,
just
so I wrote the article for him.
From 501 from 30 all the way down to the bridge at the middle of the night.
No.
from 501 down to the bridge.
Down to the bridge. Imagine just doing a big pull through there.
Holy, just a straight down Lidditz pike.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my test road, the convenient location that was strategically chosen for our second shop, which is the first real one. First one was, I don't want to say illegally located, but
Well,
less than legally located.
yeah.
And it was 5 minutes from these beautiful back roads in Stanhope, New Jersey. There's only one nice paved and curvy back road back there, which I took you many times. And then we went on the bumpier one too, because we wanted to go for further distance. But it's this beautiful curvy road. and it lets you do in short bursts, and then at the end you get you could do a full 2-gear pull, like a third and fourth pull.
That's nice.
But if you're in a Mark 1 and you don't have very angry brake pads and braided lines and high temp fluid, you're not slowing down before the railroad crossing that occurs after the last turn. Yeah. And so so Brian drove it out in PA and he met Luke, and I was like, gosh, I don't know what I'm going to show Brian that's better than this, other than a SW20, a Mark II, because it's just a better car.
Right. Yeah.
But that's the best Mark 1 we ever built. Nothing was even close. And he had that car forever. I don't know if he still has it,
Man.
but he had that car for at least a decade.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was beautiful. It was like a navy, like a Honda Fiji blue from like the late 2000s.
Oh,
That
yeah.
beautiful, kinda
yeah.
better than navy.
Yep.
Yeah.
With a yellow racing stripe down the middle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, my
little
gosh.
St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
You're talking about Jersey. I'm just thinking that stretch of 80, like by the Rockaway Mall. That's just like it's like 4 or 5 lanes for like 2 miles.
Yes.
And you can probably just like rip down that, but like don't be all the way over in the right, because like oops, now I'm at Quick Check and pulled off over by
The
Piccadilly
secret
Arsenal
sweet
over
spot
there.
on Route 80 is actually between Blairstown and Hackettstown exits.
Yeah.
Between 12 and 19, because you only have one spot for the troopers to sit, and that's where I would go to test the car. So like I would do all the back road tests to make sure it stops, it goes, it turns safely at the power it has.
Right.
And I wouldn't send a car out the door if it wasn't that, because I'm not putting somebody in a death trap.
Hey,
Have you ever been driving, like, you're going eastbound? There's always there's that hill, and there's like always a cop that sits right at the top of that hill in the median. Like every time I go,
Yes.
when I lived in Stroudsburg,
There are all the standard spots. There's only 5 spots on 80 between here and New Jersey. The troopers are always there.
They're always
Because
there.
you can count on a dumbass or someone who isn't from that area who's traversing the area.
Yeah. I'm good right now.
Yeah. But yeah,
Spicy water. But yeah, there's
I'm
always
like Ted
a cop
Lasso, I
there.
can't do carbonated
Like that's that whole section of 80. There's always cops.
Yeah. Yeah, but the sweet spot is between 12 and 19. There's a sub spot inside of there. It's actually shortly as you're going up the hill to get to 19, where it's just woods on both sides. There's nowhere for a cop to sit. You don't have the scenic overlook, which comes right after that.
Yeah.
And that's where I would test like a 4th gear pull, because a 4th gear pull on an MR2, which obviously is not, this is not a 1,000,000 horsepower car here. It's a 300 horsepower car. 4th gear, you top out. So on the track, I would top out at like 135 on slicks, which are a little bit taller diameter. So let's say 130 was your top. Obviously, I never did this because that would be admitting crime.
Right, exactly.
But
Yeah, I did. I did this in Google Earth.
But the math told me. Yeah. 4th would top out at 130 miles an hour.
If my calculations are correct.
And if you don't test a boosted car, a turbo car in 4th gear, which is full load on the motor, then you don't know if it works right, because you can have ignition break up at high RPM and under full load. You can have air fuel problems. You can have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And if you didn't do that, you would think the car was perfect. You tested it all the way up through 3rd gear, like wide open, right? Like drag racing launch 1st through 3rd. You're 80% of the way knowing if the car's done. You have to hit 4th.
Wow.
Because you need full load. And that's the first time you get it. And that was not a double entendre, though it could have been.
Hanging with the right crowd.
But yeah, and then Brian, so did you email me? Or did Luke tell me that he met you and I emailed you? I don't remember.
You emailed me after the Road and Track article came out. You said,
That's right. After it came out,
I
yeah.
like the article, come by the shop. So I came by the shop. And at the time, I was looking to buy my own
Yes.
AW11, and
Yes.
you had the supercharged one
Yes.
that I had it.
The white on red.
Yeah.
89 supercharged. There's like one of like 100 of them built.
Holy cow.
It was bone stock. We bought it from like an old lady whose like husband had died. Not, not what's the word? Predatorily.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember. We paid her as much as she asked.
Right.
and then we showed the but it had hail damage on the roof. So to me, I was like, well, if you're driving the car, you can't see that. Obviously, it doesn't matter. But like retail wise, it matters.
Yeah.
Then we went out in it,
Yeah.
and you were like, oh,
It was like,
this is not bad. But he'd already driven a Gen 4 Mark 1.5.
Right.
And that's a bone stock 14-inch 185 square.
Yep.
Mark 1 stock suspension. It was like, and it was low mileage. That car was like 40,000 miles.
Yeah.
Something obnoxiously low.
Yeah.
And 100. The NA made 115. The supercharged made 139 horsepower.
Oh wow! Yeah, it's like and I liked it, and then I saw the other one, the NA one, that was less and was stored in a heated garage.
The white on blue that you bought with the factory BBSs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not BBS.
From the old man.
It wasn't BBSs. It was his autistic moment. No, it was NKs.
Those were NKs? Those weren't BBSs?
Yeah, it was NKs. And
I lose 1 point. That's too many years out of the game.
and the NKs technically factory.
That
option.
makes more sense because BBS is a German wheel.
yeah.
Why would Toyota be associating with their former partners of World War II? Right. They just associated hard after World War II.
Yeah.
That was the first
That's
time
like
I
if
did. Did I
Daimler
also
bought
have
Mitsubishi.
the
Well,
second
wait.
giveaway car, which was the blue wrapped Mark II Gen 4 there at the time? Or was that the next time?
I think the first time we hung out, we just hung out in the shop. I think I just filmed you going off on cars.
Oh, yeah. That was an old video still on your channel. This nerding out over
Yes.
3 SGT engines. Which
That's
has
you.
me, the thumbnails like this.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think
That was that time.
I don't
Right.
think I drove one of your cars
Right.
until the next time.
Yeah. That was the baby.
And I think I just reviewed it.
Yep.
And then when you moved to
Yeah, because Joe Opnick picked up that article too.
man, and all those like you would
That
go-
was the second giveaway car we ever did.
yeah.
In 2017.
That was when you would go to a website to read an article.
Feeds Feeds did exist.
Yeah, there was
But they hadn't utterly dominated everything
Yeah.
about
Well,
content.
you could still go to a website to read the first paragraph of an article
You
before
could, but
it
you
asks for like $5 to
Yeah.
read the rest of it.
By the way, subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes.
It's $1.
$1 a month.
You
have the link?
you hear me Instagram? See,
There's a link in the description.
I like how you think, and there isn't. I
And the
don't
pinned
think
comment?
in any of the and no, there's not. We need to yeah. Maybe if I make this big mural behind me a QR code.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah,
We started testing them actually for people to watch it on TV. They watch
Yeah.
YouTube on TVs,
yeah.
and they can scan the QR code because they're not typing in links while they're watching TV.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not
because
going
what we
under
were
the
talking
script,
about
man.
at
Oh, you're good.
what we were talking about, and people will watch it says, "No, Brian, don't do the giveaways again," and I'm like, I'm interested in doing something,
Right.
because I got to pay off this house. You know, we had our vacation. Nick and I had that wonderful vacation to Australia, and that was the last big thing. And now, okay, pay off this house. I'm open to the idea of any sort of revenue stream, as long as it doesn't impact regular friends. The thing of this podcast, because this is the new passion project, and
I was actually going to ask you about
Yeah.
the direction
of RCR right now,
Yeah.
because we had
and
this,
of the Regular Friends podcast.
yeah.
Because they're one and the same
They're
umbrella,
one and the
but they're
same,
not one and the
they're
same.
not one and the same.
Two different
because
channels.
This is my, and I love. This is me not having to talk about cars in a spec sheet kind of way. Well, this had this, and then this had this, and yes, it did have that.
Except for when we go
Okay,
dark.
so
Then it
fucking-
happens.
Yeah,
Yep.
Just stop me if I
Yeah.
start on that.
Uh-huh.
No one likes that.
But it's also the opportunity, and this is what we talked about at dinner, that most of my DMs that I get these days are for people who saying like, I'm so thankful that you're openly gay and talking about cars in the way I can understand them, because I can't do it at home in frickin' Duluth, Minnesota. You know,
Yes.
I know that
Yes.
there's other people out there who are
Oh, my
who
Lord.
are LGBTQ, but also turn wrenches and pull e-brake turns and do key drops and, you know, and stuff like that, and like they don't fit in. And so Regular Friends is that, and I still want that freaking mural over there. But Chai Morning is at TFF right now, or whatever. No, FWA. No, TFF.
So
is right now.
TFF's going on. It's like there's TFF and Anthro High Arts going on this weekend.
Okay.
So one of the two.
No, TFF is done. It's LVFC.
Oh, LVFC. That's where they are right now.
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Check yourself, fools.
Still never been to Las
Chrysler Corporation.
Yeah.
God.
How dare you?
Yeah, you've been to Vegas a million. That's where SHOT Show is.
Yes, I have to be there every January at a minimum. I don't like Vegas in and of itself, but the event that I go to there is very,
You
very
love
lucrative.
Vegas.
He loves Vegas.
Look at my shirt.
He literally is wearing a Tropicana shirt.
We're the Tropicana
Yeah,
shirt.
that didn't go unnoticed, but I wasn't going to bring it up until it came up naturally.
Yeah.
I want to get back out to Reno. I miss Reno.
Reno 911?
Yeah,
you go to
Is that what you're talking about?
Reno
Did you go to
911.
BLFC?
Bill Lieutenant Dangle?
Yeah, that was my first con.
Okay.
But-
You're right. That's totally.
Oh.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to Reno 911.
That-
Lieutenant Dangle, that was the best.
that whole spiel, like, what was that, 2-3 weeks ago when I was on. But it's just, Reno is like, it's like Vegas, but it's like if Vegas was Norristown.
Well, it's
shitty.
Las Vegas' Atlantic City.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's-
yeah.
If you know Jersey, Atlantic City is
Yeah.
New Jersey's
Hell
Vegas. But really, it's New Jersey's Reno.
Yeah.
It's like, it's doesn't mean it can't be fun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
probably much more cost effective.
yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie to you. Like walking up to the Sphere, like went into it, like watched some show. I was like, this is wildly underwhelming. But walking up to it, you're like, dang, that's what $4 billion looks like.
It's like
I could have done way cooler stuff.
it's like
but I
the
mean, it
Ne-
looks good.
it's like the Neanderthals with the obelisk in 2001.
Apparently, they signed the guys who built that signed like a whole bunch of deals in all of the hilarious oil countries that money is not a thing.
Yeah.
And then the numbers came out for the first year, and according to the locals that I talked to in my Ubering around Vegas, they're like, yeah, it actually loses like $100 million a year. And I was like, that's not a good pitch.
Just in what power, or like, are people just not pulling?
Well,
up
like
to go see
I
U2?
watched like they had. What's weird is when you
That was
go in,
good.
when you enter the Sphere.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to get
Enters
into
the
that.
Sphere. Yeah.
I did a dramatic pause and a look around.
Enter the Sphere.
When you enter the Sphere, you from the outside, it's like it's insane, and it's like nothing's ever been done like that before. And like construction that never exists, they had to invent ways to build things. It's like Elon Musk building a building. You're like, what if we wanted screens around a sphere that's 30 stories high?
computer.
It's all computer. Everything's computer.
Right? But then you walk inside, and
I'm gay.
it's basically like you're just inside Giant Stadium.
Oh,
Oh, really?
And you're like, what? Well, now I know why you're losing money.
Yeah.
Like, there's all this air getting in the way of money.
A bunch of empty space.
It's
Yeah,
you
it's
you
just-
can see all the way
It's
to
a
the top.
void of
Really?
empty space.
And then you go into the little theater where they do like the movies or like the concerts, which I don't understand how they do the concerts there because you can see like maybe 500 people. And I watched, it's like, remember when IMAX came out?
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, I'm flying through the canyon. They basically do one of those.
Yeah.
And like, it was cool.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think the ticket was like $70. Yeah. And I'm like, I know the concert's a lot more, but like, even still, 500 people on $70 an hour is not pulling. Not pulling the numbers.
No, you're right.
I think one of your GoPros are about to die.
Drink.
One of the GoPro's about to go.
Oh my god.
What's it? I gotta go sit. I gotta go look at
Luckily, it's just the one that has me on it, so
it. Okay.
it's not really that.
What's it saying?
It's just flashing.
Oh, that's fine.
You know what?
But it looks super cool. Like, the only sport I watch is Formula One, and I've been watching it since I was 8.
Yeah.
But like to watch it in the backdrop of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which is actually a shockingly exciting race to watch when you consider it has no business. It's like Monaco, but way faster.
This is the second time they're in Las Vegas. You know about the Caesar's Palace Grand Prix that they did in like 81 and 82?
I do. It
They,
was in
they
a parking
ran
lot.
it in the parking lot.
Yes, it was
They
an
ran-
autocross masquerading as a Formula One race, and then it never happened again until 3 years ago when Liberty Media, who bought F1 back in 2017 from the czar Bernie Ecclestone, who invented the ability to make money racing, back in the 70s. That was like
He's looked 70 since like
He
the
was
70s.
yeah. You look at him when you were 40. I like make his hair white. Same guy. I think he was mummified when he was 40, but they figured out like a living version of mummification. You know? Like not an eternal youth, like not a like a,
it's Mr. House.
It's not the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade Fountain of Life, but it's close.
Yeah.
Like you got enough money, anything's possible.
It's like Dune, like David Lynch Dune, where you have like the Emperor and he looks like he's in his 60s, but like
He's
in
3,000.
lore, yeah.
Or every vampire movie.
Yeah.
2,500 years old. You look like you're 27. Well, that's when I was turned. So you're saying nothing changed after that? Come on now. I'm buying the vampire part, but come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
99. Was 99
99.
your shirt?
So this
I forget. I remember Isaac Bruce, Kurt Wagner.
Kurt Warner. You got Kurt Warner. I have a Kurt Warner jersey, like a Super Bowl jersey when they won in.
And then Marshall Falk
2000.
was the running back during that.
Marshall
The greatest
Faulk.
show on turf.
Yeah.
I watched that.
I have. Let's see. So this is Aaron Donald. I got it on a sale on the
Back
Fanatics
in the day,
website.
99 was like it was an O lineman.
Yeah. Well, he was a defensive end. He one of the best. Yeah. Oh my God. Like watching him play, he's insane. Yeah. He just like comes out of nowhere and sacks the QB.
You're describing one of my favorite defensive ends ever from the 90s Minnesota Vikings, John Randall. He was in the NFL Power and Glory soundtrack.
With that,
You come to play with the big dogs. I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party.
that 98 Vikings team, you got Randall Cunningham, and like the twilight of his career, where he's like now he's a good like pocket passer.
Yes. Whereas he was the original like Steve McNabb.
Yeah, he's just like running all over
he was
the
all
place.
over the place.
Like when he was playing
After Warren
that.
Moon, who was not a Steve McNabb.
And then you had I know his name. I can't think of his name. All
Slippy,
the top of my head.
Slappy,
84.
Maybe it's not a briefcase.
Randy Moss. I mean,
Yes.
Randy Moss. And
The greatest non-Super Bowl winning wide receiver ever, I think.
Yeah. I don't think
Because he was at Tom Brady's
'cause he was
roast, and they were joking about that. They're like, "How is the greatest one of the
He was-
greatest
he was
receivers
on-
ever never won a Super Bowl?"
He was on that.
Oh,
he was
I
on
didn't
that
know that.
2007 Patriots team where they won out the whole season except for the Super Bowl
But he
against
like
the
didn't
Giants.
play or something. There was some kind of caveat to that where he was like,
I know he played. Like he had highlights.
In my
but-
defense, I wasn't watching football at that time. I watched it in high school and then never again until every Super Bowl from the last 2 years. Every one of them. For the last 2 years.
Who else was on that 98 Vikings team? Chris Carter.
Yes. The Jerry Rice of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know the running back.
Not Jerry Rice.
I can't think of the running back. But yeah, it's like they.
Yes, and they had a good one. Yeah, it was like the old like Holy Trinity: quarterback, the quarterback rock star, one wide receiver, and a rock star running back. That was how you won in the '90s. The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Though they had two. They had Dion and Michael Irvin.
Well, Dion
two receivers. And then-
Dion was on the other side of the ball. He was a cornerback.
No, he played both ways.
Yeah.
Dion was omnipositional. He played every which way.
Yeah.
See what I did
probably.
there? Anybody catch my three?
He played
three to
for.
tango
I was
reference?
gonna say
Yeah,
yeah.
No
I
one
guess
caught
so.
the tango reference? Did you get the call back there?
I was just thinking about Jimmy Bustison and him in the stands.
That was Matthew Oliver Platt.
What do they call? What do they call the Kutztown Stadium?
I'm at Kutztown. I'm at the Kutztown Golden Bears. Oh, I hope I don't bust.
Here comes the team.
Wait, is that any relation to Kunkelman Chevrolet?
No relation.
Because I love the Kunkelman Chevrolet.
Thank you.
That was classic.
There's another. Did another Kunkelman ad for a video that's coming up. And I can
really?
I can spoil it up now. It's the Toyota Solara.
Yeah.
Wait, you did Kay's Solara or somebody else's Solara?
That's the big guy with a cane.
No, that's not Kay.
He
No,
was
it
at
makes
he was
sense.
at
It was
Jim's
called
house.
Chrysler.
He was at Jim's house a bunch.
Oh, what's his name?
Michael Caine?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Reyes.
Reyes.
Yes, that was his car. Yeah, we bundled up. It was before the weather turned nice. It was this Wednesday we filmed it, and like a Toyota Solara is a car for just complete sleazeballs. Like it's
We're auto or manual here?
they did come manual. That's
They
right.
did. They made it.
But
that was
only-
a 6-speed 1MZ. That was a hot motor for the MR2 swaps.
But
if
it
you
was
wanted
really-
nothing for your money.
It and the 6-speed manual only came in the 4-banger in the Solara. You couldn't get the 3.3 V6 and a manual at the same time.
That is correct.
You could only get the Autobot.
You could make them after the fact, but you could not get them.
Oh shit!
Yes, because MR2 guys did it too.
Adapter plate?
I'm going to say limited success is probably too kind. But it happened. Because it was the only 6-speed that ever existed that you could. The Toyota made.
Right.
Interesting.
Obviously not counting your.
Was it a good
your
si-
2ZZ from the Lotus that you could put in the Spider?
Was it-
You did a recent short on that where you were like 2ZZ in a Mark III.
I was thinking
Don't
of
waste
you.
your money.
I was thinking of you
We
because that's
talked
what you
about it a
said.
million times.
Yeah, it's like
You give up all the torque and you gain basically nothing on top end.
Yeah.
And your power band is
Muzzy.
now...
Is anybody saying anything in the Instagram?
No, a lot of people are joining. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Are we getting any more? You can't hear us right now? Can you hear me now?
No, we're not getting any more of that.
Good.
Okay. Good.
That's good.
Nueve dos.
Nueve dos.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English.
It was a 992.
Porsche? Point 1 or point 2?
People are asking.
Did you just Porsche reference me? How dare you?
Yes.
The gall!
Kevin's car.
He said, "I don't care. I'm here to listen."
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that reference is, but you're welcome.
I don't know, man. I'm just here.
Maybe I
having a
should
good time.
maybe I should switch from
I was
Instagram to
chilling.
TikTok and give TikTok a chance. No, Kevin's Boxster. I filmed on RCR. Yeah.
Did you find the engine bay yet?
Yeah.
Which 986, 987? I had a 986.
Yep. Oh, did you?
I had a black on black Boxster S.
Nice.
Back when they were not that old. Mm-hmm. And I lost half of my money on that because I bought it in April of 2007. Mm-hmm. If anyone remembers the year after that.
Oh,
I sold the year after that for
That
a
thing that
cool 60% of what I bought it for. I bought a one-owner, old lady, 23,000-mile, black on black,
Nice.
turbo twist wheels, Boxster S.
Tiptronic?
No.
Manual.
How dare you? That's when I was still a man.
Okay.
I had a beard. I didn't even have a beard, actually. I had to go to.
you still have a beard.
Now I have a fat guy beard. This is a different kind of beard. This is what you do when you're like, I want to look at that. Just don't shave.
Oh my god.
That's how this happens.
No.
It's not done either. I'm gonna go. I want a full Viking.
Ooh.
my dad's like that.
Like
His beard's
borderline,
like
people
down
were
to
like,
here.
"Do you need some mushrooms before this slaughter?" No, I like my slaughter sober. I'm no berserker. I'm just berserker.
Are you gonna put jewels in it? Or not jewels, but like
Nah, I feel like that girls it up a little bit. I don't like it.
my dad,
They did it. Yeah, I'm not right. That doesn't girl it up, but I get it.
My
Also,
dad-
I have nothing I would put in it other than food I didn't finish.
I don't know if he still.
Which happens already right now. You take a bite and you're like, oh shit.
I don't know if he still works with him, but my dad worked with a guy who had like a really long beard. He put skull like beads in it.
Yo! Yes! Where he stored the skull. You didn't have to keep it in your pocket now. You just right here. Hold on.
That's like some like West Coast chopper, like American chopper
Yeah.
type beat. You know, it's just like
That reeks to me actually more
riding my hog.
more like a South Carolina vibe.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That too. Oh my
Skull
God.
in your beard. Because you can mix it with some chicken and dumplings. You know, like chicken and dumplings? All right, I'm done with that.
That's that Southern
that's
hospitality.
Skull. That's some Southern hospitality right there.
skull
Yeah.
beads, like skulls.
Yeah. No, I got it. I just like the idea of storing
skull. Of
chew in your beard. And you just... I'll save that.
Yeah.
We'll save that for later.
Yeah, it's like you just like peel out your beard. And that's your spinner
You like
right
the
there.
Gecko commercials?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
You
This
got,
guy
you,
knows what I'm talking about.
you got the Zoomer version of it. You just keep your zins in your beard.
Yeah. See, there's no limit to what you could do.
Yeah.
It's just another storage device that you wear. Think about it.
I don't know how much of my family watches this podcast. Probably zero. But like everyone on my mom's side, it's a biker gang.
If
And
no
so,
one
like,
has watched it yet, I think we should do something wildly uncomfortable for them right now and then send them the link.
holy frick.
Brian, are you on board with that? I don't know what it is.
All the freaking heads.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
What
I should just-
of in your life, sir?
Yeah.
Oh,
I should send this to my mom.
I'm gonna go. Who was the guy who did what was the Al Capone? The Al Capone safe.
What's this? Geraldo
Yeah.
Rivera.
Yes, Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo Rivera. I'm gonna go Geraldo Rivera on you.
oh my god.
Let's make your family hate you right now,
Yeah.
The Coolio part,
or at
about
least
this,
wildly uncomfortable.
Former mayor of Cincinnati, Jerry Springer walks in.
Here's a knife. Do something with the knife.
Here's a knife. You're about to transition.
Holy
Do you remember when Pablo Francisco was doing comedy? He did a bunch of great Arnold stuff.
Yeah,
where he did
yeah.
the movie trailer voice.
He did, yeah.
But then he also did Jerry Springer. And he's like, Jerry Springer, he'd just bring people on. He'd be like, so, sir, tell me what's bothering you. I don't like blacks, Mexicans, or Chinese people. Oh, we just happen to have some blacks, some Mexicans.
yeah.
Here's a knife. Do something with the knife.
He would just set him up. No, you're right though. I mean, he would just set him up.
But, like, the guy was a marketing genius.
Yeah, it was.
He had like
It was
he had like
literally-
Oprah Winfrey, and it's just like, hey, Marilyn Manson, come on my show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just.
Tom Cruise, come on here, jump on my couch, and talk about how weird you are. Though you
Yeah,
still
yeah.
make some of the greatest
I'm
action
not
movies
gay.
ever.
Not gay. Not gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm in love.
it's just engaged. It's just rage bait of the 2000s.
Yeah.
of
But
the
no one did it
90s.
better because we had Richard Bay, we had Ricky Lake.
Yeah,
They were all Jerry Springer lookalikes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
everyone just like today, everyone just copies anybody that's working.
Millennials had TikTok slop. It was just People's Court and Jerry Springer.
Yes.
yeah,
And it was on network television.
Yes,
Yeah.
broadcasted.
Broadcast.
Is
television.
TikTok slop? And I know this is funny because we're on TikTok now.
Hi, TikTok.
That is
I
me.
love TikTok. Is TikTok slop the one where you have like Family Guy up top and then just like Minecraft down below?
Cave
Yeah,
runner, or
Subway
like what was it?
Surfers.
What two? The guy that runs on
Subway
the
Surfers.
Subway Surfers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is that sludge content, or is that the same thing?
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. It's change out your verbiage here and there. It's a slop.
The top panel is a Fetterman talking about something that
Yeah.
makes everybody mad, and then the bottom is just like a Fall Guys.
Jiggling.
It's like a Minecraft
You
Let's
know what I'm
Play.
talking about because we've seen one of those before. It's like Family Guy funny moments. It's like, or it's like just it's something like that should be like taken seriously. Like
Here's an
Fetterman says
AI
something stupid.
voice reading something from a
From a Reddit, yes.
Reddit like
yeah.
am I a asshole
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
and it's just like here's some like satisfying videos of a guy cutting butter or something.
9,000 degree knife.
9,000 degree knife. It's like some sort of hydraulic press crushing something.
Welcome to the hydraulic press channel.
Bosses of Reddit, have you ever had to fire somebody on the first day and like someone making like ice cream on the bottom? And it's like, fuck me. It's 1:10 a.m. I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm watching this. That is brain rot, isn't it?
It's brain
Yeah.
rot.
Yeah.
There's also
I also like that you're trying to go to sleep at 1:10 a.m. scrolling TikTok.
yes.
I have a problem. I want.
I mean, that's a problem.
I'm waiting.
I don't know.
I'm waiting for my fursuit crush to respond to the screen caps that I took from frickin' F list and just say,
Hey, are you in
into
any of
this
these?
shit?" Yeah.
Is that friends list?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's friends
Yes,
list.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
friends
what it
list.
is.
Friends list.
That is. That
friends
is
list.
exactly what it is.
List, which is
That-
friends list.
Yes, it's a friends list.
I've had
F is for right.
yeah.
100%.
I'm flipping this bit.
I've had friends that have met off of
F-list and got married because they were really, really good friends.
Well, they had a different name for this when I was in college. It was called Match.com.
I'm sure they matched on a bunch of stuff.
That's what they did.
A bunch of categories.
Yeah,
They matched on a male and female outlet.
A lot of favorites, a lot of yeses. We'll talk about the maybes, and of course, they agree on the no's.
yeah. It's like
And,
match.
then they maybe even matched on some customs.
Whoa. That sounds serious.
Yeah.
That's marriage quality right there.
No, that's like saying, "Oh, I like to go hiking," but with this and that when you go
Yes,
hiking.
yes.
Yeah.
I like to go hiking
And
with
those
a rubber
so much-
band wrapped around my balls.
Whoa! Get your head out of the gutter. We're talking about friends list.
I don't know if that could be one thing. I think that's maybe two things you like to do.
Yeah. It's a tandem thing.
Yeah. It's like trying to say Okinawa. Can't do it.
Yeah, it's like S&M sewing and matcha lattes.
No, Symphony and Metallica.
Yes.
It's an awesome Metallica album.
S&M is my favorite Metallica album.
Greatest
Me too.
album.
And everybody hates it, and that was okay.
Who hates that? We're going to murder them right now.
I know, right?
That's
like
an amazing.
it was like,
album.
oh, they went soft because they play with
It's symphonic
Yeah.
metal. That's like a whole genre.
Yeah.
They invented that.
Yeah.
Just like Aerosmith and Run DMC invented
Rap rock.
Rap rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, come on. Dude, like, but those albums, that double
They
disc
was-
S&M.
Yep.
I
That.
am uncomfortable. I can't even talk about that album anymore because everyone's like,
Yeah. Right. No. Yeah. Those.
you're one of those.
You're one of those. I knew it.
Those
Like,
CDs are in this.
Metallica fan from the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Awesome. Amazing double album.
Yeah.
And an original No Leaf Clover was an original song.
So gay. My favorite song off of that album is "Hero of the Day."
I don't
the
think you
slow
can
one.
apply I'm So Gay to any Metallica song.
I know, but it's my point is that it's the slow song.
Maybe like a George
Yeah.
Michaels.
Yeah.
You could probably maybe
Starts. Yeah.
get some validity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just
Hero of the Day was a great song.
I love
If-
that song.
What about Whiskey in the Jarro?
That's good.
Yeah.
whiskey in the jar. No, at work, you know, I'm just like, there's two songs where like my inner fruit really comes out. And if I'm like listening to the radio, like if I don't have an earbud in, just listening to 96.1 SOX, WSOX.
Bennett Valley's greatest hits.
There's two songs.
That was good.
Wham! Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
Oh, that's a hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wake me up before you finish. I feel like before you go, there's room there. Right.
Well, go.
There might be some like.
I like the dance to go. I like the dance to go. All right.
Right.
I'll take some more. Yeah.
But
Yes.
That's good
but that song, like I know like every lyric to it because it just gets stuck in my head. Before you go, let me hang on like a yo-yo. All right. That song, and then they play "Relax" by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, go to it. I fucking love it.
One of the greatest soundtracks ever, The Wedding Singer, 2-volume.
Really?
Remember the cook? He's in the kitchen, and he comes. And he's like, "Relax, go do it."
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's been so long since I've seen that, but
Ben
yes.
Stiller's wife.
Holy.
That was her first. I think that was her first like big movie.
Holy
Adam Sandler.
crap.
That's an amazing. You've seen Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
I know you've seen it.
There's a DeLorean. in it.
Man.
Yeah.
I remember him. I remember Wedding Singer when they I believe it was Wedding Singer when they break out the CD player and like
Yeah.
my dad's like, I remember when those compact discs first came out.
Wait, how old is your dad? Because I remember when they came out.
my dad was born in '60, and then
Oh, okay.
so
Your
he
dad
was
was old world by the time it came out.
yeah like he was
He remembers the Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
he was
He's like, this is the cutting edge shit right here.
Getting audio issues again.
It was
Oh,
me.
what are we?
It's probably
What's
me.
happening?
Somebody said there's no audio,
Okay.
Oh no!
which I don't.
I always believed I could power through these things.
yeah
I just gotta scream into this, John.
right.
You like just give him a little like a little System of Down. Wake up! Wake up! Turn around! Wake up! Turn around on the table! Turn around! You want to! You want to!
I don't think you trust in my.
And it's going to say, well, what do you want to capture from Black Magic Design? That's that. Yeah.
Pumped up.
Great pump up
Just
music.
freaking-
Them and Linkin Park of the first album, Hybrid Theory.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
It
I still
starts
listen to it in the
with
end
one
because
day.
why wouldn't
It's
you?
hard,
Right.
hard. No
That is a
matter how
timeless
hard to
classic.
try.
I think Chester from Linkin Park, like, on brand for like generational game-changing talent that didn't make it past 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is basically like any famous guitarist ever.
Well,
Wait, was he really that young
No,
when
I
he
think he was
passed?
a little bit older, but like he was my generation's because that was my
yeah.
that was my high school.
I remember when he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean he was older than 30. But it was the closest for me of like a guy that I had listened to because like nobody else that is Metallica is all still here.
Yeah.
You know, like shockingly.
Yeah.
And that's because they went to rehab like 20 years ago.
Yeah, right.
But like, how are the Stones still here?
I know, right?
Like,
and
Yeah.
like that's just
Keith
science.
Keith Richards looks like a prune that has been left out for like a month.
Do you remember
Keith
when he
Richards,
was
don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. I love you.
Do you remember when he was in like it was the last or second to the last Pirates of the Caribbean?
I haven't seen it.
He was in it.
Caribbean movies.
He was a character in it. It was the first or second to the last ones. There's like 6 of them, you know. That was one of my generation's movies, but I don't think I even saw the last 2 like more than once. But he was in it, and you're like, I think he's literally like he just is living in a permanent state of what are the funeral houses use to
Mausoleums.
Yes.
No, the liquid.
He goes home.
Formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde.
Yeah. Just like he just like takes a glass of whiskey, pours like a half a glass of formaldehyde.
Yeah, just drinks it.
Preservation.
Fountain of youth, bitches.
Oh my God.
I'm convinced that's what's happening.
Yeah.
'cause
I mean,
I need to follow Keith Richards' skincare routine.
It's just one person messing with us.
yeah.
or they actually have
You know
a
what?
problem on their side, which I used to get all the time with the website
someone
stuff.
could get their phone out and just go to regular and Roman and just
Yeah, if
pull
only
up
there
the
was
thing.
someone without a microphone in their hand that could get their phone out.
Yeah.
I appreciate
And just
how
see if
fast
there's
you went
no
for it,
off.
though.
Skip, I can't hear you.
Oh, I can't hear me either. Don't worry.
What?
You know my favorite part of being in the same room of everyone that's talking about this right now? I can hear everybody. I feel like your favorite part is that you can't hear me all the time.
It's just one person fucking with us. Yeah. Like
Kobayashi.
yeah.
I don't know. It's really interesting. So like back on like the automobile grind. I say like working for we touched a little bit about this on the last podcast, but I know that the audio was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, so there was
episode.
So if people who are subscribed to the Patreon, there was the After Dark one. We did one before that, but the audio was messed up.
Was it called Before the Dark?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was pre-podcast.
It was BD.
Yeah.
Pre-dark.
Yeah.
PD.
It was at noon, not at dark. But we did one, and then we did like we hit the whole one, and we were just like riffing on Chrysler because like. I mean, me and you especially, we're like Chrysler nerds. So like we're just like bitching about like Jeep and like.
Well, wait, what
Chrysler
genre are we
cars.
talking about here? Because besides, I think Brian will have some joyously entertaining content about Chrysler.
Because
Are we going a specific direction here with Chrysler?
So what I was going to say was like, so we're working
likes
for
or hates.
just like just to set the tone of like the era of Chrysler that we're still technically called Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, and it's FCA LLC, and everyone doesn't know that because everyone knows Stellantis because the French bought Chrysler, and they say that it's all kind of intertwined with the Peugeot and all that kind of stuff. But when you look at it, and Peugeot and the French buying Chrysler is a reiteration of what happened in 1980 or before 1987 in late 70s when Renault bought controlling stock in AMC. And Renault was like, "Hey, we're going to put AMC back on the map." You know, the AMC they were struggling terribly.
Delicious.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what to fix this American car that's struggling? Some French.
French.
The liquor. Americans will love the liquor.
First thing we're doing, yellow headlights. Yellow headlights.
Americans love that.
Okay.
Let's put kitty cats on them and call them Marshall.
You would have been the Elon Musk of the 70s if you put yellow headlights on American cars. What is happening right now?
But like it's like cyclical. No, it's okay. It's cyclical. Everything not even just in the automotive industry, but everything in general is cyclical, and you can see it and mean it's mathematical. Like where we're at right now, Chrysler was the American market right now compared to everybody else. Where the American market and then Chrysler is of the American market. So like
whereas 50 years ago,
Chrysler
was
1, 2, 3. It was the third of three.
World market.
Yes, of the world market, and they controlled so much of the other brands. And now we've
they
reached
just made
the point.
fake brands that weren't Chrysler.
Yes, exactly. But
and GM mastered this,
and they still do today.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is that AMC
was
was
somewhere with us.
I am. I'm sorry. So like it's very nice. People come to me pretty frequently because they're just like, you know, how could you have so much passion for a brand that sucks? And very frequently this happens, and I'm just like, here's why.
I was born into it. That's why.
I was born into it. My dad.
And do you remember the 70s? Slash 60s really is the best part.
I was never a Chrysler person. I grew up in a strictly General Motors household.
Oh,
and
Judas.
Yes, very, very.
I'm amazed you made it out of there alive.
I was
good thing you don't like Camaros.
I was broken down half the time, so I wasn't even traveling, so it doesn't matter. But no, it was
you were driving
my dad,
your French Chrysler,
right?
So
yeah,
you never got anywhere.
But like growing up, my dad, I was 6 years old, and he purchased a 1995 two-wheel drive V8 Magnum extended cab Dodge Ram pickup, and because he got it at a deal, and it's a two-wheel drive.
No, I know this car.
Yeah, yep. And so you can imagine it.
One of my old business partners, that was what he was driving when I met him.
Yeah, and it's a little bit lower than the four-wheel
drive
ones.
Why do you hate life?
Exactly. But he bought
have an
that
answer.
at 120,000 miles. I was 6 years old, and by the time that my dad passed away, that car, that truck had 612,000 miles on it, and we had done absolutely nothing to it. But at 545,000 miles, we put one transmission in it.
Wait, hold on. This was an automatic or a manual?
It was an automatic.
What?
It's an automatic. It is a one.
Dodge is the most notorious hunks of garbage transmissions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
you replace them every like 80K. It's like Subaru head gaskets. You're like, I better do the head gaskets on my Dodge. I better do the trans.
The second gen Rams were pretty, but they were built like
That's back when people referred to trans totally different. I gotta replace my trans. Ho ho ho! That is not okay. Transmission. I meant. I don't have a Chrysler product.
I drive a Chrysler product, right?
Ford product.
It's a.
You remember the Windstar?
It happens. Yes, I had a Windstar. I recently sold
had a
one.
Windstar. Yeah,
that was Subaru head gasket level transmission.
Of transmission. Yep. Yeah. But anyways,
we're working right now. No.
I'm slowly getting to a point to where, so that kind of turned me on to like, you know, Chrysler is kind of neat in the fact that like. When I was a kid, we still had the big three. You still had, you know, the Japanese and the foreign markets were still coming up and everything. Hyundai was finally coming into, you know, the forefront.
But crappy Japanese, but crappy Toyota still at that point.
Yes, crappy Toyota still at that point. And now we're at the point where Chrysler is a little guy. And
yes. And they only exist because Fiat bought them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so an Italian company had to buy you.
And the French company,
watch this.
A French company had to buy the Italian company.
See, that I didn't know about.
Yeah, so the reason it's called Stellantis is Peugeot bought everybody. So,
which makes no sense to me. Though an Italian company buying an American company makes even less sense. So
Stellantis is like the Volkswagen
lives
group.
On, like, spaghetti and meatballs, right? Like, I mean, real.
That's like the bears with the hats in Russia or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like there's nobody people that actually live in Russia. It's bears with
like
hats.
you're the Siberia of economies.
But
like, how does this work? And Jerry Seinfeld had an answer to this. He's like, Italy works solely because They're the 24-year-old girl that you start dating, and she never ages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know Jerry Seinfeld's trying to catch that high. And his fingers.
Oh, yeah.
This was 2017. Oh my God. He actually said it better, but it's like it's your prom date that never ages. Because
Italy.
Italy,
You're saying as a country,
Italy does nothing productive other than be beautiful and glorious.
They have good engineers.
Yeah, they have good engineers.
They have Germans doing the engineering. You remember when Lamborghini was Lamborghini? I've driven all of them. They are useless piles of garbage. I drove it. Nothing looks better.
Yes.
Yes.
I drove the 1980 308
Yeah, the
GTS.
Ferrari.
The pinnacle of rubbish from Ferrari.
It looks jaw-droppingly gorgeous to look at.
Yeah.
And Tom Selleck made that his bitch.
Sexy,
Yes.
yeah.
That car is Magnum BO.
Yeah.
I think it was more Magnum BS.
Magnum Cunnilingus.
We have a 2.4 liter V8 that makes 187 horsepower.
This episode, Tom Selleck eats pussy. You're all watching for
every
22
episode.
minutes.
Magnum PI meets Higgins in Samsonite.
Have you ever seen the movie Mr. Baseball? That
Come
stars.
on, of course he has.
I know what you're talking about is Tom Selleck. He goes to Japan.
That was his movie. And then everything else he did that was awesome was all TV shows, including great episodes on Friends.
But there's a scene where he's like talking to the press. He's like, thank you. It's like good games for the men and free mustache rides for the ladies. And then there's like the one Japanese lady reporter like speaks in like full English, and like Tom Selleck is doing like one of the like wrestler surprise things that they do when like somebody enters the ring. He's like,
yeah.
One of these?
yeah.
You look like someone in the cheap seat said something?
But I mean Chrysler as a brand, like you got to think.
Do they today?
Not today. I mean, Chrysler is like
What's
in the
last
90s.
great Chrysler? This is a good argument. I wanted a good argument here. We'll call it a debate because we don't want to be too antagonistic. Best Chrysler, best last Chrysler. Best Chrysler. We'll go last best Chrysler.
Chrysler as a brand or Chrysler?
Car, model, and submodel if required.
So no, you're saying Chrysler as a corporation. So all the brands.
A car they made before they were owned by the communists.
Okay.
Okay, when they were still America, because I mean, you know, French and Italy are socialists, the same thing. What was the last best opener with the name I can't remember from when I was watching the.
I'm not going to teach you
Rams
French.
No, I actually know French, but it's not a good language.
Best
They don't know half the
last
letters.
Chrysler.
I thought you said, for a second, I thought you said your dad clicked, and I was like, no, he didn't.
No, I'm like using
dad
Kevin's phone, and I dad clicked, even though it's an iPhone and I have an iPhone.
Best last Chrysler? I mean,
Yeah.
How many swipes through your phone before I find
feel like
porn?
it's early. Well, the best last Chrysler, probably, the 300C, what you said.
I was about to
I
reach
feel
for
like
my
that's
phone.
a good classy.
But that was a Mercedes
fast
E-Class.
car.
That wasn't a Chrysler. That was Daimler Chrysler.
Oh, we're
so
going
you gotta
back.
go pre-98.
We're going back.
Before Mercedes was like, we will show you Americans how to do this, yeah.
And then Chrysler's like,
We're gonna
pump
you up.
I'll tell you my number one favorite Chrysler of all time. It's the 1972 Chrysler Town and Country, and it is the epitome of the American family automobile. If you think of a wagon,
I love the deep cut here.
if you think of a wagon, you think of a
Yes.
massive big block V8
Barn
wagon.
door.
Yes, the barn door.
The opposite facing seats.
Yes.
Wood paneling.
Yes, the trapezoid bat. Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes. And like the iconic shape. Everyone has done it. Oldsmobile, Ford, Chevrolet, everyone has done it.
Those were
But
the country squires.
the Ford
Colony
Country
Park.
Squires.
Yes.
Yes.
That
And
was
like
Sarah Jessica Parker's episode on Comedians of Cars. It was later. It was like a
Was it a Country
79
Square?
or an 80.
Yeah.
So it was like the
yeah.
In the
Minecraft
Minecraft
styling, but it's just a 6,000
in the
pound
Minecraft
boat.
movie, there's
That was a great episode.
There's a town and country.
I want to see that.
hell yeah.
Oh, is there a Town and Country?
Yeah, like a 70s one. It might be.
In Minecraft?
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, I told you.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We were
Seriously?
talking about that.
Yeah,
In a Minecraft movie?
there's a ton of like weird Chrysler products.
They must be
Yeah, cheap
weirdos
Cherokee.
that are our age. They're like, no one's gonna know what this is.
Because
They're gonna think it's an all new Roblox.
because they before they go to the Minecraft world, it like takes place in like Idaho, like they like and
Yeah,
like
that's the
there's
right
like
car.
there's like a ton of Chrysler products in this town for some reason. Like there's like a early Jeep Gladiator, not a new Gladiator, like the old Gladiators from like the 60s.
You mean the OG Gladiator?
The J Series truck.
Yeah,
and the Comanches.
yeah,
Which was really what they made the Gladiator as a byproduct of.
yes.
Like, it's a pickup truck and a car. It's an El Camino with 4-wheel drive.
Speaking of my favorite Chrysler product, Dodge Rampage Plymouth Scamp.
Yeah, wait, because you didn't give me a favorite one because yours was wrong because it was a German product.
When are you gonna get one?
Is this it?
Well, you said last, and I was thinking, the
Last best Chrysler product.
last best
Not
Chrysler
Deutsch,
product.
Italiano.
No, that was his favorite. Like the Dodge Rampage and Plymouth Scamp. So that's
That is my favorite car.
Okay.
That's
last
their-
before like Daimler merger, probably I would say second gen Ram. You know, my dad had a '99 second gen Ram, the bubbly Rams. My dad had a
You mean
'99.
the Rams.
Yes.
Ram.
Yep.
The first gen Rams are cool. I like the first gen.
Well, they're OGs. That was the 12 valves. Then you went to the 24 valves.
Yeah.
The second or third year of the second gens. But the second gen is the Ram that I remember when
Like,
I
what-
was still in grade school, and you were like, "Whoa,
It's like, what is that
a pickup
thing?
truck?"
Yeah.
And then they put out the Durango, and you're like, "Oh shit!" Ford Explorer's about to make some changes up in here. Ford Explorer's just falling over at corners.
just tipping
Durango's
over.
like 5.7 liter Hemi, baby.
Honestly, Chrysler was kind of. I mean,
That
with
was
their-
that was
with their
you're right.
with
That was
their
heyday.
weird with their weird
Yes.
cars
They're
in the
really
'90s. They were firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
you got to think like. You got the second gen minivan, and everybody who had kids.
Caravan, yeah.
The cab forward.
The inventor of
Yeah. The LR. I mean, like
the second gen Caravan. Yes. I remember the first gen Caravan.
Oh yeah,
That was game
80s.
changer. Then Ford did the Explorer, though technically Jeep had done the Cherokee before that, but they weren't playing it that way. SUV, the word hadn't been hadn't been invented yet.
Yep.
And then BMW thought like, we're going to change that. SAV, Sport Activity Vehicle.
I know. I remember that. Oh my god. Yeah.
BMW, please shut up. That was me at a 6. You don't want to see me go to 10.
You think if BMW is like X1, you're like,
They're so
there's going to be
goofy.
some crazy supercar, and it's like it's just an SUV.
Yes, because the M1 was their
M1
engine supercar that was designed by Lamborghini.
They haven't done anything since.
Lamborghini.
No, because they understand that to make money,
Yeah.
you don't build stupid cars that no one buys.
You had
Unless
the 8
you are Ferrari.
series. You had the 8 series, but that cost an
That
arm
didn't
and a
sell
leg.
anything
Everyone
either.
bought the
That
8
was
series.
one of my last. So I had Road and Track since the age of like 7. It's the only thing I ever read. I refused to read any books when I was a kid. I would only read car magazines. So I would read them front and back. I remember I said literally every single spec. I can probably still quote like 50% of them to this day. 35 years later. Fair enough. But when they put out the 850, they called it the Aristocrat. that was the Road and Track title, the Aristocrat.
It fits.
And it was the 850, and the 850 was the 5-liter V12, which they said was in James Bond GoldenEye, but wasn't. It was actually a 740. Really? They were like, oh, it's a long wheelbase 750. Nah, it's not a car. 740, you just changed the badge on the back. You're like, 5-liter V12.
I thought.
Oh my god.
I always like confuse it. What's the BMW where the door frames like drop down?
Oh, the Z1.
Yeah, the Z1. I thought the Bond car in GoldenEye was the Z1.
No, it was the Z3.
Yeah, I was
Which
like,
we gave away, the Z3M last year.
yeah.
Which did not do well,
Did I tell you the story about?
but it was wonderful to drive.
Oh yeah.
But it's like annoyingly BMW M cars. You're like, of the 90s BMW M cars, you're like, it's like when I had my 01 Boxster S. You're like, it's so well engineered, that there's nothing to love or hate.
Yeah.
It's just like a beige Camry.
It's too
It's a
good.
higher profile, but like you want like an Alfa Romeo Giulia, where you're like, will it start today?
You want a Maserati
Will it make
bi-turbo.
it- Yes.
You want a Dodge Hornet?
Will it make it? Will it make it to the restaurant?
Yeah, like one of my moments like with that giveaway car was when I got a call from a Appalachian hiker who was pink blazing. So this is a specific. Oh, it is. Like, okay, I don't know if there is a slang for this in the fandom.
Pink blazing.
Okay, this is.
furry.
Imagine if a straight guy who's a furry goes to a convention for the sole purpose of trying to have sex with a straight cis female. Who has he's been?
Oh my god!
This is me.
I hope the mic caught that. Holy shit!
You know what the worst thing about that comment is? It may or may not have actually made it into the mic. So let's do it again.
Oh my god! Oh my
You
god!
did that.
Which is me.
Did you go, Kevin?
Samsonite.
Kevin, did you go to a convention just to pork?
Holy frick!
Did you go to a convention just
I mean,
to
he didn't
slam?
say it.
I suppose.
You can't suppose
Now you're
going
gonna
to
tell
an event.
Here's the mic. Tell the
He
story.
literally said in layman's terms. He literally said it.
I did that.
The old MCFC 2023.
Tell the story.
shit.
Take the mic. Take the mic from my hand.
Yeah.
Beans and Franks. Beans and Franks.
Oh my god.
Is that what the sound of? Was that what the sound was when you were?
You were trying to get that fresh Arby's meal in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
I just want that pussy, bro.
Did you get it?
Okay.
Because I'm a faggot.
You weren't back then.
Not back then.
Not back then. Oh my god.
Well, but if that were true, then you wouldn't be attempting the. Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's get bogged down
It's
with
like-
who's, what, and when. Okay.
Yep.
No, it's like. So wait, you did go to a convention. Screw the convention. I just gotta have sex with this one girl.
That was like a side quest.
But he failed.
Okay.
He failed though.
Yeah.
It was a failure.
I mean,
The main mission
I was-
at a con is to have a fun time.
Yeah. I was with you.
How does one define a fun time at a con?
Okay, so
Where are my
for-
Big Bang Theory fans in this room? Any Big Bang Theory guys?
Eh.
Oh, really?
Ironically.
Penny. Penny.
my
Yeah.
This is my favorite thing about your generation. I watch or do these things ironically. No, you do or watch them. And then after the fact, you're like, yeah, but I don't actually like that shit.
Yeah.
For the weirdos. I'm not even about it.
Yep.
I did it ironically. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
You were like, hold on a second. Let me go watch this show ironically by myself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, you seeing this? Can you believe that line right there?
Yeah.
There's no one next to you.
Can't believe they
Yeah.
said that. That's so dumb.
Okay.
I'm
So that story. Okay, Pink Blazing is an Appalachian Trail. Yes, Kim.
Are we frozen?
Are we frozen?
No, I hate that movie.
I'm watching.
We're not.
I'm watching it on my
I
phone.
mean, I'm like
yeah.
milting right now, so I'm the
Yeah,
opposite
we're
of
fine.
frozen.
Stream is fine.
Somebody said that are you guys frozen?
Yeah.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
refresh.
Shut up.
That's the answer to everything, Kim.
The,
refresh.
This is why I
Do an incognito window.
Get better Wi-Fi.
This is why I want to pre-record stuff. So you don't have people fucking with me in the comments.
Get
The,
better
the
Wi-Fi.
Appalachian guy.
Shout out to my high school best friend Evan Smith for hiking the Appalachian Trail in 3 months over a semester break from college.
Hell yeah.
You rock. I need to call you at some point. I'm sorry if you're watching this podcast. Love you, Evan.
Yeah.
So is that to suggest that he hasn't been your best friend since high school?
It's college.
All right, no, I got you. I follow you. I follow
part,
you.
you know.
So you are no longer his best friend. Just to be clear.
He's my normie best friend.
Yeah.
Furry best friends.
You're his normie. You're his normie. At least senior year of high school or earlier best friend.
Oh my God.
That's the criteria. That's a caveat.
The
Appalachian Trail Pink Blazing.
Okay. A definition for this.
So when I have the term, you have the term blaze. So like in the '60s when you had gate,
Yes.
everything's like
gate.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
That Watergate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's
Watergate, blank
yep.
gate.
The
Suffolk
70s was
Blank
the
gate.
gate decade.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
I see.
Watergate started, and then everything was gate.
I'm
Yeah.
caught up. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
So when you hike the Appalachian Trail, you see blazes on the tree, the white blazes that mark the trail.
Okay.
So then everything has a suffix blaze. So if you're brown blazing, which means you're hiking very fast to get to a privy or a porta potty, or else you're going to shit your pants.
That's awesome.
Yeah. If you're platinum blazing, it's someone who just spends a lot of money. They get to a town. They're just like, yo, I'm not sleeping in a tent tonight. Show me the hotel. Take me to
Where's Lancaster blazing coming to this?
the what blazing?
Because platinum's no longer blazing.
Call back! Yo, hold on! Yes! That's awesome.
I'm the king of the callback. Sorry, that was. I apologize.
That's
It's all
good.
good.
Okay. Yep.
It's okay. I live
So,
in Lancaster.
But pink.
Pink blazing is if you're hiking and pink blazing is you're hiking after a female hiker that you're trying to bang in either your tent or her tent.
Extracurricular activity.
Yeah. And it's also like loosely associated with nice guying.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to be in a tent.
I see.
Well,
Is that a require? Is that like a?
I suppose so.
Hey,
I mean,
what kind of music do you like? I'll play it for you on my Bluetooth speaker out here.
Yes.
On my JBL.
Oh, just like a
Do you listen to the Grateful Dead?
Have you ever heard of Coldplay?
Wizard and the Wizard Lizard Wizard.
Are you a fish head?
Oh, my God. There you go.
Yeah. So
Anyway, yeah.
So that's pink blazing. So there was this young hiker who I'm pretty sure was pink blazing. Girl shot him down, and he's like, I just want to go home. So he wanted to get a shuttle from Port Clinton, Pennsylvania, to somewhere north of State College.
Oh, holy crap!
And he was ready to pay $200 for just take me home. And I'm like, and I'm getting these texts while I'm on the elliptical machine at the old gym, the place
Oh
where
my
we used to
God.
film.
The Racquet Club.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
racquetball club. And the guy said, I'd like to go home. And it's somewhere around like 7 p.m. at night. And it's like, I'm not driving to State College right now. And he said, I'll pay you $250. I said, let's go.
I'll see you. I'll see you in 50 minutes.
Correct.
All right. I immediately get off it. I go home, just at least let me take a shower first. And I'm like, obviously, I can't take the Nairo. The electric car won't make it. And I'm not taking Crazy Taxi. That thing's going to suck gas. And I'm not going to take the 4Runner. That's also going to suck gas. What's left? The BMW Z3M.
Oh Roadster, baby.
I'm picking you up. Here I
Come
come. Let's roll. And it's
350 miles to the tank, baby.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we
actually.
it was a lovely drive.
It's just
Honestly,
silky.
It was just,
It's you're like driving caramel.
Yep. And I wanted to pass people. I looked down 2 gears and I'm like, I'm sorry. And I turned to him like, hey, I'm sorry, but this is kind of a fun car.
Yeah.
That's a car you don't have to do what we were talking about at dinner, where you have to.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. You just go. Yeah.
That's like
Effortless.
all back roads, like through. I mean, I guess
I'm on
C3M Roadster,
I
baby.
guess 78 until Harrisburg, but then
Have you
like,
seen the wheel stacker on that?
I don't
bad
know,
boy?
like how was that 322 that gets you up?
I
to
think
State
I just
College?
went I-80. I just went all the way up and over.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I went. You did have to go up like zigzag your way up, and eventually I hit I-80. But no, I didn't go all the way to
Pennsylvania State
College.
Route 73.
Now I have to know. I'm looking
State
at
College, for all those who don't live in Pennsylvania, is the college of the state.
It is
Go
there.
Nittany Lions.
Wait, was that Penn State is called State College? You refer
Yeah,
to Penn State as State College?
Penn State is in the town of State College. That's why the town is called State College.
So Penn State is where you're talking about when you're going to State College? But
Okay, okay.
UPenn is...
UPenn's in
slow
Philly.
this down a little bit.
Okay.
Slow this down a little
That's in
bit.
Florida.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is nomenclature. You are familiar with the college called Penn State University.
Dude, Nittany Lions.
Yes.
Ooh,
And then
Joe
you-
P.
So that is the college. The name of the municipality that surrounds it, the actual name of the town, is called State College.
Only in Pennsylvania would
Yes.
you have a town called State
That
and
'Cause
college.
it was in the.
It should be town college, maybe you would.
It's a land grant university. It was in the middle of nowhere, and the state was like, "All right, this is going to be a college now."
You got it.
Town was
Yeah.
just around it.
And then Joe P showed up, and they were like, Joe P. University.
Yeah, Joe Pa.
That's another one of my.
I'm
like,
surprised they never renamed it. Because when I was in high school, it was like that was actually my delusional dream. Dream's not the right word. Delusional fantasy. Is
If you have a delusional dream of Joe Pa, I am very concerned for you.
No, this is before his assistant coach got all that trouble. Which I don't believe that Joe Pa was involved in that. He may have ignored it. Okay, I can pass that. But what was this? 'Cause they did like a whole
I can't.
documentary. Something.
Yeah, it's like
But when I was in high school, that was like the closest best football college that there was. If you're in North Jersey, Penn State.
Yeah.
yeah,
better or closer.
because Rutgers is butt and
Yeah,
Syracuse
and I
is
went to
basketball.
Rutgers. And
You went to
they
Rutgers?
Don't call it, they don't call it the RU screw for nothing.
Oh.
Rutgers University Screw because it's always under construction and it never fucking works.
So to answer your question, I didn't drive all the way to State College. That guy lived in Lewisburg.
And when you picked
Oh
him
yeah,
up,
that's straight shot.
and when you picked him up in the M Roadster, was he like, "Why are you doing this?"
He's like, the guy barely talked the whole way.
Really?
He was just in that sort of fugue state where he realized that the last maybe month or month and a half that he spent chasing one girl was all a waste.
I mean, I've done that in high school, but it was like a cumulative distance of 1.5
also,
miles.
imagine the girl for a second.
Yeah.
Like
This is
imagine
not
her.
Scarlett Johansson he's pursuing.
Yeah.
Okay? She ain't watching. She ain't walking that.
Well, I'm just saying. Imagine from the girl's perspective. It's just like there's this crazy ass guy. I'm trying to enjoy myself
No, I
on the
feel like-
I
Appalachian
thought
Trail.
he's pulling the way you phrased that. You're like, imagine the girl, and I'm like,
Dude, this
Yeah.
guy.
Because I can imagine what that girl looks like.
no.
He's got to be a quarter mile back, just like taking like Walking Dead clues. Like, oh, she was here. She broke this branch.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's following a
Yes,
girl
Kim.
Did Margaret sit here?
in the woods.
it's like,
Yes. So
did
this.
you smoke this roach?
Is that the her patchouli I smell?
So what
maybe
did
this.
He say? Did he say anything interesting by the end of it? That's a
No.
long drive.
He says, "Oh, my house is coming up." He had.
So no, he said nothing.
Oh my god.
He was wearing like mid 2000s style
The ovalic.
long square
And this
glasses.
is
I have
last
one of
year.
those.
Yeah.
This is in 2024.
Wide
Yep.
eyeglasses.
Yes. Did he have the walking poles, the ski poles?
They all do that, but
Yeah.
yes.
Like you gotta have.
You have to.
You gotta.
Those
You're
are,
not hiking if you're not poling.
Try walking without like a trekking pole through New Jersey.
No, I've done it. It's flat. It's horrible. Jersey? Gesundheit. Jersey? No, you're talking about Pennsylvania.
No, like
New Jersey is nothing but hills.
The AT in Jersey and PA, it is just rock central. There are rocks.
Yes,
everywhere.
it's all rocks and all ascent or descent.
You
We don't have. You go to Texas. Like every time I go to Texas, I'm like, man, I understand why they say everything's bigger because you can get anywhere if you don't have that mentality of everything is bigger. Because it's 2 hours to get the quick check. You're like, hey guys, you want to go to beer run? I'll see you in 5.5 hours. Be right back.
Oh my god.
BRB.
The reason that
QT
Kevin and I are
quick checks
questioning
pretty
you is
dope.
because the only Jersey that we really know is like what's technically called Central Jersey. I think.
What are you calling Central Jersey? Because I've lived in Jersey my whole life.
Even you went to school in South Jersey.
Yeah.
Hold on, where'd you go to school? Rowan. That's not South Jersey. That's South Jersey. You're adorable. That's a college campus. That has no relation to what South Jersey actually looks like, which is a toilet bowl. Remember I told you I played in a toilet bowl? He went to school there.
Oh my Westboro.
I grew up in North Jersey with the cows and the sheep and the farms.
North Jersey is like hills and stuff.
Yeah, North. Yeah, like
Even Central is. You were in South Jersey, which is the flattest part of Jersey. Yes. You're nearing the ocean where you're like, oh, this would be like if I was at the beach, but anyone wanted to be
But
here.
there's like horses and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, well, why is there no heat
Yeah.
and people?
Shout out to Chris who lives in North Jersey.
Shout out to Chris.
Central Jersey.
Yeah,
he's
love you, Chris.
Chris?
We all love you.
Yeah, shout out to Chris.
Where does he live? Like middle.
Crisp.
He lives
Crisp-
near Allentown.
Crisp
Jersey.
lives in Allentown.
Yeah,
New
so,
Jersey.
The definition of Central Jersey.
Yeah,
Very,
it's
like,
technically
really
called
close,
Cox's Corner,
New Jersey.
which is right
All
there.
right, let's not go off the reservation here. All right.
Let's see.
I don't want to start throwing out dirty words.
Listen here.
Are you challenging me right now?
No, I'm going to say right here and right now, I'm pro Delaware. For anyone who's wondering, I'm a Delaware
So am
stan.
I. My C corp is incorporated
Delaware,
there.
really?
They have
Delaware?
great tax incentives.
Oh yes, they do.
Delaware should have been the bottom 3 counties of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
No,
Delaware. The way
EA would have made a lot more money if that was the case.
Yeah.
Delaware is just like, what if Kansas was on the ocean?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They call that Northern California.
Yeah.
Coastal Delaware. You know because you were
Maybe even Oregon.
because you came to visit us quite
Yeah,
often.
I mean Oregon has more trees than Kansas. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But like in terms of like, you're in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing around you.
That's like Eastern Oregon.
Put it on the coast.
Eastern Oregon is just a desert.
Yeah,
It's just
Eastern
Arizona.
Oregon is just Arizona, but like
I
really
flew into
high.
my buddy.
It's really awesome.
One of my buddies.
People don't know about it.
He went to
And
school.
we went through it.
He graduated and then moved to Casper, Wyoming. Yes, like the ghost. Okay. Spoiler alert. It was like the town I went to high school in, Newton, New Jersey, 1 square mile. Except in Casper, Wyoming, as opposed to Newton, New Jersey, instead of 90% Honda Civics, it was 90% dually diesels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.
If it wasn't lifted, don't even bother going to Starbucks. Okay? Because you will be shamed out of that parking lot.
So
But I had to fly into Salt Lake City on an actual plane.
Okay.
On a jetliner, right? On a 737. And then I had to take... That was better. My story is actually not as good. That was better. And then I had to get on a twin turboprop
Hell yeah.
with 20 people where they're moving the baggage around to balance the weight of the plane.
We come from Northwest Michigan, where it was a
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
it was a 1972 Cessna that they they daily ran, and the last trip that we went on that plane, it was a trip after that they crashed on O'Hare.
Yes. Yeah. You're the guys before the guys who just died in the helicopter, right? The whole family died on the Hudson. Like,
No one died, but the
whole family
the
died in
wheels
the Hudson
wouldn't come
one,
out,
but
and then the wheels wouldn't come out, and the plane just
nobody
went.
died in the Hudson, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
because a
helicopter,
plane-
yeah.
A plane is designed
I'm
to
thinking of
fly.
like Sully.
Helicopters are designed to fall.
And
They fly in the face
They
of physics.
They fall gracefully.
Yeah. But did you see the video my buddy showed? Because like I love
Tail
that.
rotor
it's-
can. Yeah,
It just like goes boom.
No, but what happened was because this, like, there's no mechanical way to make sense of that. So like, I read military history is my jam, right? Like Vietnam stuff. Like you read all about the insane shit that like a 1960s generation Huey, which is just like a 1950s American car in the air.
Yeah.
Right? Like nothing there that doesn't need to be there. And no technology or brilliance in engineering or assembly.
yes.
Right? It's a miracle it's flying. And they've survived thousands of rounds shot through them and people falling off them, pilots dying, second pilots, co-pilots bringing them home, right? So you read all that.
Still in service.
No, not even still in service. Like, you have another mission in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That fuel lies broken? Fix that shit. Put some more fuel in it. I'm out.
I mean, it's like updates. They're like model differences.
And then you watch that was a Bell. I don't know what model it was, but that was a modern Bell like newscopter helicopter, which they used for all the Manhattan skyline tours.
Yeah.
Like the rotor didn't come off because there's a million safety pins and stuff there so that it can't. The entire assembly came off.
The shaft. And
Did it?
Whole turbine shaft.
Did it just like? Did something just like shear in the metal and just because
So the
of the
only
weakness?
way that can happen is obviously. Well, okay, that's not true. I am not a mechanical engineer by any means, but I did build cars. So
Yeah.
I'd be like an amateur mechanical engineer. But the only scenarios you can have there is it was literally never maintained. And
Okay.
that hardware was original. And they were like, oh yeah, no, we checked it over. It looks good. Because hardware can look fine.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then you go to like just torque it down that eighth of an inch, and then it snaps off, and then we get out the drill bit. Right? This is what 90s car life is like.
Yeah.
I lived this. But the other scenario is you have your 1 in a million statistical anomalies where like air travel by commercial jetliner is statistically the safest way to travel by an order of magnitudes over cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we think of cars as like, I'm not going to die on the way home.
Right.
Statistically, you're like 100 times more likely to die
In
on
a
the way
car
home in your car
versus
than you
a
are on a
plane.
plane.
Yeah.
Maybe even 1,000. It's like it's not even relatable.
'Cause the
but
thing-
when
the
you look at it, you're like, anything can fail at any time. The idea that we have engineered a science metallurgy society manufacturing capability that means we see that and we're like, what the hell? Whereas if you were in the Soviet Union during the Cold War, you'd be like, Tuesday's not a good day to get on a helicopter. I'm telling you, I wouldn't do it. I go Wednesday.
I don't think any time was a good time to fly Aeroflot like during the Soviet Union.
That monkey,
Speaking of old,
he didn't make it back.
Speaking of old engineering, I think it's about time you and I get in Crazy Taxi and head over to Larkin Party.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the definition of
I'll be right behind you in the Camry.
All right.
I'm going.
All right. Thank you so much for everybody who hung out with regular friends.
Are there any other super chats you had to hit before we leave?
Are there any other super chats, Kim, coming in?
No.
No?
Not that I saw.
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you to everybody who watched this, and thank you to later on people on Patreon who are watching this after the fact. There is no AD version of this, but don't worry. We're going to have some people over to have some saucy conversations because I know that's what gets the Patreons coming in. So, for Justin, Kevin, Muzzy, and Dylan, your regular friends, we're so happy to have you with us.
Ren, Kim behind the camera.
And Kim, thank you so much.
Kim
for
Jong
being-
Un.
Oh, man. Thank you, Kim, for being our producer for this and switching cameras. Thank you so much. Yes.
Y'all are so gay.
And remember, stay classy.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.
Have a good evening, guys.